gave her a fame, a high, the piccolo and the king. Highfalutin, fat shooting, piccolo shooting, highbrow. Highfalutin, fat shooting, piccolo shooting, highbrow. Played a little old down, and her played a little old down, and her head went round and round. Whoa, she thought I was okay, but he stepped off that train with a high, the piccolo and the king.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Chud Watch. I'm Hannah. How are all of you doing today? Oh, this lighting is bad for this concealer, isn't it? Anyway, how are you all doing? Thanks for the hype train. We're at 80% of level 2 with a little under a minute left. Let's hope this makeup continues to oxidize. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to fuck with my camera settings so it doesn't look like I just dove mouth first into a pile of cocaine. Let's see. Jack Clausen, thanks for 8 months of a Prime subscription. Hydrate, will do. Mike Max, thanks for the link. Steven Crowder. I think we watched this. Yeah, we watched this. Thank you, though. Blackwing Hecty, thanks for 10 months as Hey Hannah in chat. Morok says, I shared her line art once before, but she's finished now. The artist is Amber Jin on Etsy. Super talented. She's my go-to for art commissions. Oh, that looks great. I love the steampunk gun. That's an awesome character. I'll have to look into maybe getting a commission done of the professor at some point. We're at 26% to level 3. Simple Cat Girl with links. As I know, today is Chud Watch, but you gotta watch this. You watched it in Altered Rin's stream. Back to the Future 9/11 conspiracy connection. Well, I'm saving that for conspiracies. Thank you. Sham Rockstar, thanks for 14 months. Bumble Homestead says, hype already, nice. Colston says, Jake may not deserve a completed hype train, but Hannah certainly does. I do. Get me to level 5, plebs. Seriously though, thank you. Bitter Grin with 130 bits says, bits for the hype goddess, thank you. Raw Inks with 100 bits says, hype, hope your day is going well. I hope yours is going well too. It's pretty good. I got everything I needed to get done at the old house, and now I shouldn't have to go back there for a while, so that's good. Bumble Homestead says, OMG, don't let the hype die before it even starts. Bitter Old Ass Broad with 8 months says, it's been 8 months and I've been as loyal as I could possibly be. Thank you. Try and Ads says, hi Hannah, you look gorgeous. Thank you, that's very kind, all things considered today. Siberian Winter says, new office is looking great, I hope the move continues to go well. Yeah, I like this background so far, but I think I want to get like some lighting on the shelves right here, like under the shelves, so you can kind of see what's going on there better, because you can barely see it right now. Genghis Kanye with 100 bits. Sweetie Bunny Mommy with 100. Thank y'all. Talk about the OnlyFans thing? I can. It'll be a brief discussion though. Red Werewolf says, got cussed out by a customer today for something I had nothing to do with. I much prefer Chuds, who I don't have to actually interact with in person. M. Scheffler, 720 with 100 bits, says, hype for Hannah. Krizia, thanks for gifting 5 subs to the community. Neurotic Nanette, thanks for 9 months. That's a sub baby. This sub baby's name is going to be Gregory Fontaine. Zero M80 says, I wonder how Chuds are dealing with the new episode of What If. I haven't watched it yet, so no spoilers. That XY girl says, my patrician has demanded bits of me. Patrician. An aristocrat or nobleman? Makes sense. H. Baird says, ask not for whom the train hypes, the hype trains for thee. Blackwing Hecty with 30 bits says, I finally got a PS5. Lucky. Playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. What's our sub baby called? Our sub baby is called Otto Ignatius. Tucker White, thanks for 13 months, says, I'm 13 months into this and got another fuck trophy to shit out in 5 months. Gray Fox with 100 bits says, hyping up, loving my new job. Oh, I'm glad. Amazing Physicist says, hype bitches, all I got, but can't wait to make it rain on you. Confused you should be, but I got you, girl. Pyromancer says, hey Hannah, I sent you a clip on Twitter. Alrighty. Am I going to talk about the bomb thing in the quartering? There's not a lot to say. Basically, there was a bomb threat in DC today. The makeup's blending in a little better. I just needed to spend more time blending it, honestly. I just looked at the camera again for the first time. I'll fix it before we start the stream proper. What was I going to say? Oh, basically there was that bomb threat in DC today, and the quartering called it a false flag because he's an idiot. So that's fun. Thoughts on yesterday's Pokemon Presents? I didn't watch it. Moomoof, thanks for 3 months of Prime. DM Trey says, I love the sci-fi speaks easy thing you got going on. The sci-fi speak easy, rather. Thank you. Dearthin says, guess who got a Cymbalta prescription? Nice. I don't know what Cymbalta does. I'll be real with you, but whatever it is, I hope it helps. X Flowers for Brain says, last of my bits for now, always glad to give. Bitter Old Ass Broad with 250 says, some hype choo-choo. Schwiggity schwa says, whoop whoop. Youtja XD says, did y'all hear about OnlyFans doing a Tumblr and banning porn because they can't get sponsors? 74 Quinn 74 says, yesterday I had customers named Hannah, Cece, and Marcel. Oh no, the merge is happening. That XY girl says, patrician is the Roman social class above plebeian. Good to know. Bardlock Moses, thanks for gifting a sub. Didn't let the concealer oxidize fully. Oh yeah, I'm sure. But it's also I didn't blend it very well. Mr. X8 with 100 bits. I basically just slapped it on and I just like a couple times because I was in a hurry. One Speedy Yoshi says, hype, so I went to the doctor's today to draw blood. The nurse put, we're at 112% on level 5, by the way. Thank you very much, everyone. Went to the doctor's today to draw blood. The nurse put the needle in my arm, and no blood was coming out, so she moved it to the other. Then she did the same with the right arm, still no blood. Then another nurse came up, re-sanitized my left arm, stung like hell, then put it back in, and blood finally came out. So how's your day going? Better, I hope. Definitely better than that. Chrysia says, the odd makeup shelf issues are only with certain LED colors. Yeah, I don't know. Neurotic Nanette says, this is the second live stream I've been able to catch due to time zone stuff. Been following you and Jake since you first started. I absolutely love you, Hannah. I always catch up on YouTube. I'm glad you could make it live. Try an ad says Hannah is distributing some contraband as you slide across the neon table. She smiles as you drink the good stuff. Miss K's, thanks for extending your subscription through September. Amazing Physicist says, stop it, you look fine. Now I'm gonna go back to lurking. Speedy Yoshi says, blue come, red come, crime come. I see someone was seeing my tweets earlier. Colston says, I'm excited. Tomorrow Ash Ketchum is fighting the 27th strongest trainer in the world, and he'll probably win. They still make Pokemon? Holy shit. Baja, don't eat all my candy. Iron Gullet, thanks for 15 months. Blackwing Hecate says, I have some quality street that I'd like to share. I don't know what that means. Try an ad says, oof, sorry about that. I'm new here. Sorry for the cheer spam. You're fine? Did I say something to imply it's not fine? Oh, I just didn't understand what you meant. It's not that it's spam. I don't care. You can give me as many bits as you want. Already ate it? You did not eat that much chocolate in one sitting. You'd be horribly ill. Alright, I'm gonna try and blend this a little better. I'll be back in just a sec, okay? It's a little better. E-Tune with 100 bits says yoink and becomes the stream boss. Get non-vegan candy. Speedy Yoshi says makeup stream when? Or mukbang stream? Gasp. Makeup mukbang. That would be disgusting. Whether that means you're eating the makeup or just having Baja apply it while you eat, I don't mind, but it has to be all the K's cooking or Gordon Ramsay grilled cheese. Yeah, no. I would never do a makeup stream. I suck at makeup. So, no. Morak says, just checked the page of the guy I follow on OnlyFans, and according to him, apparently the site is banning sexually explicit content, but not nudity. Yeah, to my understanding, it basically means you can post nudes, but you can't post pornography in the sense that, like, you can't post yourself masturbating or engaging in sexual acts, but you can just be nude. Think Playboy and not Penthouse. Does that make sense? Which we'll talk about. Moraxa, nope, read that one. Tubeman says, hey Hannah, have you seen the new He-Man trailer? I, for one, am ready for Chuds to be mad again. I actually watched the first episode of the new Masters of the Universe show the other day. I liked it. I thought it was really good. I haven't seen the rest, though, so I can't speak to the quality of the rest of the show, but I enjoyed it. I was never a fan of the original He-Man, though, so take it with a grain of salt. Neurotic Nanette says, you look lovely. Thank you. Baha asks, do you want me to bring you some candy? I'm good. I had a little bit earlier. Thank you, though. Girlfriend, does your makeup stream when? Who knows? Mike Max with a link. Oh, yeah, this crazy dude. We can watch that. Tube Man says, no Hannah, the new 3D He-Man. Wait, what? They're making, oh god, they're making like a CG He-Man? What the fuck? Garo the Khajiit says, hello stream, time to have Chud watch as my background while I work on my D&D comic. Fun. They're making a separate He-Man show? What? The current one is still on Netflix. What? Pyromancer with a link.
It's a super fucking penis.
Oh my god, did you do a thing? Hold on. Wait, why won't it work?
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
Yay! You did a meme. DM Trey says, oh, and in D&D news, my party got the books they wanted from a library that was hidden in a demiplane inside of a demiplane inside of an etc. And they got out and they were ambushed by a super druid. Fun.
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
What the fuck is this?
Copy video address.
It's a super fucking penis.
Rip Twitter.
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
What the fuck is this?
One sec, I'm trying
It's
to
a
get
super
this
fucking
downloaded.
penis.
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is
It's a
this?
super fucking super fucking penis.
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
Okay, I'll stop that because I'm sure that's driving people crazy. Sorry. Pointless wants me to time out Kook45. Okay. With channel points. Let me find that person. Hold on. Do 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 do. Do. Where are you? Say something so I can time you out. What was the person's name again? Kook45. Okay, I can find that. HIJK. There we go. Timeout.
What the fuck is this?
It's a super fucking penis.
Did it download? Okay. What did we want to watch first? Let's talk about the OnlyFans thing real quick. Fucking Bloomberg. Fine. Okay, so OnlyFans to bar sexually explicit videos and photos starting in October. So apparently OnlyFans is going to be banning accounts starting in October that share sexually explicit material, which, to my understanding, was basically the entire point of OnlyFans. And people have been comparing this to Tumblr. So Tumblr used to host a quite large variety of explicit material. And then they started banning it, and basically Tumblr's dead now. But here's the thing. At least Tumblr also just had, like, other shit. Fan blogs, and people posting goth shit. You know? It wasn't entirely a porn site. OnlyFans is like 95% a porn site. What are they doing? I feel terrible for, like, sex workers who are on OnlyFans. And OnlyFans is a great thing, you know? Allowing people, instead of working for other companies or whatever, being able to make money on their own doing that, if that's what they want to do. That's great. And now, even though the people who made money for OnlyFans, I think OnlyFans made like $1 billion last year or something stupid. That money primarily coming from sex workers. Now OnlyFans is like, all right, thanks for the money. Now fuck off. We're going to try and be a legitimate company because we're embarrassed by you, even though you're the people who made us successful in the first place. It's really fucked up. I don't have a lot to say about this other than it's going to kill OnlyFans. Period. End of story. And secondly, I really, really feel bad for anyone who makes their living doing OnlyFans or makes a good amount of money doing it and all of a sudden is having the rug pulled out from under them. So I hope they're able to find alternatives. Fuck OnlyFans. And yeah, that's about it. Don't have a lot to say. It's just fucked up. Profane Priestess says, in yet more D&D news, my character used her books to shut down what was basically a Weapon X program. She then led the refugees thereof to found a country. Over the next 800 years, it grew into major mercantile power, a la Renaissance Florence or Dutch Republic. Two Man says, alternative title, OnlyFans goes out of business. I'm apparently blocked by whoever tweeted this. So I don't know what that link is. Nick says, bankrupt the Puritans responsible. Mike Mack says, I wonder how Tate will react to this. Yeah, he's basically an OnlyFans pimp in that he hires women to go to OnlyFans for him. I imagine he'll just have them switch to other services. I'd be surprised if OnlyFans was the only service he had them working on. Neurotic Nanette says, yeah, like, about OnlyFans, wasn't that the whole point? What is the reason for the ban? Did they give a reason? To my understanding, they want to find investors, and investors are averse to investing in a company that's adult-oriented in that way. Which is funny, because it's like, okay, now what are you offering them, right? What are you offering them? Hi, we would like an investment in our company. Well, what do? We used to be a hub where people could post explicit images of themselves and videos and sell them to people. And we made $2 billion last year. Oh, that's a lot of money. Yeah, we don't do that anymore, though. So, our business model's broken. Oh, you still don't get money. Another issue was, I guess, payment processors didn't want to work with them, which is just really, really stupid, but whatever. Tiger White says, I love that most pressing issue for OnlyFans wasn't making its website easier to navigate and easier to search, rather it was kicking off people who made it relevant. Morok says, I like supporting the guy I follow on OnlyFans, like, I'm 80% ace, so I'm only on there like once a month, but he's really hot and makes good content. Gonna try to find him wherever he goes after this. Well, I hope he has the best of luck. Siberian Winter says, the OnlyFans thing is a little more nuanced than that from my understanding. I think they're banning extreme acts, but my information is secondhand, so I could very well be wrong. They're banning pornography. or sexually explicit acts. So basically, you can't post video of yourself having sex or masturbating or doing, like, you can post a video of you naked or a photo of you naked. I think I compared it earlier. They're saying, okay, we used to be a sort of Pornhub/Hustler. Now you can only be as explicit as Playboy. You know what I mean? In fairness, I've never been on OnlyFans, so I don't know what percentage of the material was just like, you know, photos of naked people just like doing nothing and just being like, I'm naked. I'm sure there was a lot of it. Someone's gonna clip that. But I'm sure there was a good amount of it that was like explicit pornography. Siberian Winter says the OnlyFans thing. Nope, read that one. Harry K5 says not only fuck OnlyFans, but fuck payment processors and fuck Cesta. Killjoy says, what is this about OnlyFans? Why don't people use air conditioners? Hi, jokes. Chrysia says, one of the sex workers I follow already moved to Fansly. Tube Man says OnlyFans was 85% porn, 15% other stuff. Blackwing Hackety says, at least they didn't specifically ban female presenting nipples. There was a time, I talked about doing this and I never did, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. There was a time where I was going to do an experiment, and I think other people have done this before too, but I was curious about me personally. Like when I first started HRT, I was going to start a Twitter account or something where I posted... I'm glad I didn't end up doing this, but it would have been funny. Basically, as I started hormones, taking a picture of one of my now breasts, but at that point just my chest every day bare, and seeing at what point Twitter bans it, or at what point Facebook or whoever bans it. Like, at what point is my chest feminine enough to be TOS? Glad I didn't do it. Would have been funny, though. E-Tune says, God damn it, where am I going to eventually post my porn of my OCs for profit? I don't know. Patreon, probably. Butternips 2.0. Anyway, so that's the OnlyFans thing. Just silly. Just really, really silly and stupid. And I hope people who made money on that are able to find new places to monetize their content. Female presenting nipple, you say, says one Speedy Hoshi, and it just... Patreon banned porn too. I know there are explicit 18 plus artists on Patreon. Unless they banned them, I guess, since the last time I was aware of that kind of thing. Because, like, I'm a Patreon of Sarah, and she's done X-rated artwork. Killjoy says, how do you people have such cool D&D campaigns? My group spent 2 hours whether or not to jump into a hole in the back of a cave last weekend. I mean, it kind of depends on what you're talking about. Every group has that. That's part of the fun. But when you kind of step back at the broader narrative, it usually sounds epic. But yeah, there are a lot of spend 2 hours talking about jumping into a hole. Everyone does that. Puka says, boobies shouldn't be banned. Free all the boobies. Artwork is safe on Patreon? Just live action stuff, maybe? I assume they're concerned about underage people slipping through. Which, again, usually these places have, like, driver's license, like, check your driver's license policies, and it seems like that should be enough, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in that biz. Seems like it's wrought with all sorts of weird ethical issues and puritanical pearl clutching. Anyway. Neurotic Nanette says, the feck is with all these websites allowing porn and suddenly banning it when they get big. Because they want to use sex workers to gain clout and then abandon them immediately when they think they're better than them. Or when they think they don't need them because they look down on sex workers. It's really stupid. Once again, the bad guy is capitalism. Yeah. 60s Spider-Man intro, but he's just man.
Man does whatever a man can. Look out, here comes the man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got blood. Can he swing from a thread? Hey there goes the man. In the chill of night, he arrives, man, friendly neighborhood man. He's ignored wherever there's a hang-up. You'll find man.
Growing up, when I was a kid to early teens, my alarm clock was a Spider-Man alarm clock, and I woke up to this every morning. The real one, not the man song, Spider-Man. Garrett the Khajiit says, speaking of D&D and Hannah, do you need art of your new character? Sarah's doing the art. I've already seen it. It's pretty good. If you wanted to do some art once the campaign starts, that'd be cool, but I'm not supposed to reveal what the character is, I don't think, to anyone until we begin. Twitter, shitty to Danny DeVito. On Wednesday, Danny DeVito expressed solidarity with striking Nabisco workers. No contracts, no snacks. He tweeted today, Twitter stripped him of his verified status. DeVito confirmed. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. The world is a nightmare. At least in Blade Runner, they, like, had replicants and flying cars. Right? Tube Man says, this is the best Spider-Man theme. Spider-Man and his amazing friends. I used to watch this as a kid. I like... Dude from Moria says, the best Spider-Man theme is Italian Spider-Man. Bitter Old Ass Broad says, did you see the link I posted? Just wondering if the article was what you would consider Chud content. What was the article? Let me see if I can find it. I might have missed it. Can you post it again? I might have missed it. Alright, so what do we got going on today? Peter, of course, is still coping hard, believes that Trump is somehow going to come back. He's not. Speedy Yoshi says, me after the Twitter fucks over Danny DeVito. And there's a link.
What?
Jabber, you deserve the job.
Bitter Old Ass Broad with the link. California gubernatorial candidate Larry Elder said employers should be able to ask women if and when they plan to get pregnant. Oh my god. Well, that's disgusting. I didn't even watch it. You fucking posted this.
Whoa!
It's 5. You posted it. There's 5 seconds in it.
Jabber,
It starts
you
here.
deserve the job. Let's just burn
If you don't want me to
the place down.
Alright, so what are we doing today? Peter coping. Tate, surprise, he's on the side of the Taliban. Vegan teacher goes to McDonald's. Overlord DVD freaks out because Alex Kurtzman's contract for Star Trek got renewed, even though he's been saying he was on the verge of being fired for the past 5 years. Heels vs. Babyface is pissed off about the Marvel What If show because Lady Captain America, right-wing cope, and then who knows what else. Enreath says, oh, Hannah, I just learned my mom works with Peter Light. She's an elementary school special ed teacher, and her main aide believes aliens are on Earth and the vaccine is poison. Oh, God. She should not be working around children. Alright, let's see what Peter's up to. It's getting repetitive. We might take a break from Peter sometime soon until he says something more interesting, just because at this point he's kind of going around in circles, which isn't surprising, but, you know. Let's see what he has to say today, and then maybe take a little bit of a break from him.
And Trump is asked, about coming back or running in 2024. He always says, I can't go into details, but a lot of great things are happening. You're going to be very happy. Our brightest days are just ahead. I'm going to be in the White House sooner than you think. So if you think about it,
Peter, he's leading on followers like you, well, followers like you, but ones that aren't $60,000 in debt, ones with money, so that they will send him money that he can then use to pay off his debts or just pocket or whatever. It's a scam. It's a scam. He's scamming you.
he's basically told us we're all going to be happy very soon and that he'll be in the White House sooner than you think, which is literally saying he'll be taking the White House back.
It's not literally that. Do I need to read you the definition of literally? Literally, that's literally not what literally means. I hate that.
As soon as he possibly can. And he's being as direct as he can be without literally saying, yeah, I'm going to be taking back the White House.
Okay, so you do know what literally means. Try and add says, Peter moment. Princess Amelia says, Peter not looking... I'm not going to say that. Colston says, how did Peter get into so much debt? College? He was scammed. He got into a business with a guy who was like, we're going to open a medical weed thing together. And Peter was like, okay. And the guy was like, give me $60,000. And Peter was like, okay. And Peter gave the guy $60,000. And he ran away with it. He rolled away with it. He was paraplegic. So Peter doesn't trust people in wheelchairs now. I'm not kidding. There's a video we watched previously where Peter expressed his distrust of people with disabilities now because he was scammed by someone in a wheelchair. He didn't learn a lesson about his own gullibility. He just learned to be an ableist piece of shit. So anyway... Where is he filming now? No TV, no laptop. This is a couch in a room. He has a computer across from where he's sitting. I've seen this couch because it was in the background in a live stream we did together once when I was talking to him.
In September, October,
Jamie Lynn says, how are you doing today, Hannah? I'm doing great. Did you just start the stream? I'm so happy today I moved and this place is so much better for me. Oh, good. I just moved too. I love my new place. Stream's been going for 45 minutes. Spongy Lord, thanks for 5 months. Says, you're still my favorite creator. I watch every stream, even ones I miss. Here's to another 5 months, hopefully. Well, thank you.
He said everything but that. Our brightest days are just ahead. Oh, I'll be in the White House sooner than you think. You guys are going to be very happy about the situation. He's literally told us he'll be back in the White House. And I have a lot to explain in this episode.
If you can trust anyone, you can trust Donald Trump.
This is Peter's Trump Updates. So, as you saw in the intro, there's a new video where Hannity asked Trump last night, hey, what about running 2024? When are you coming back? Stuff like that. And he says, because of the finance campaign laws, I can't really...
Campaign finance laws.
...say anything. I'm not allowed to, but...
Which is actually true to my understanding. I could be wrong, but I was under the impression that, before you sort of do campaign things, you're supposed to basically file paperwork saying that you're running officially. And I assume Trump hasn't done that yet.
But he says people are going to be...
He could be lying, though, because it is Donald Trump, so I don't know.
Very happy, and...
Just so he can string along people more if he doesn't want to go through the whole campaigning again. Some years from now when he's even older and even more tired. Simple Cat Girl says, once again, I missed the conspiracy TGE world was... conspiracy the world, it was a typo, was ending on 2012. It at least had a decent disaster movie made of it. Andrew Batella says, thousands of years ago literally meant reading the Proto-Romance languages letter by letter, i.e. pronouncing them like classical Latin, rather than with the ongoing sound changes. I know words change, it's fine. Wasn't Trump supposed to be president already? Yes. The goalposts have moved again. Surprise.
And not to worry about it because it's all, people are going to be very, very happy with what happens. And so when he's talking about people, he's talking about conservatives. And he also mentions that people are going to be very happy about what happens because he really loves the country and he's very worried about what's going on. That sounds a lot to me like if he genuinely cares about the country, which is what he said, and he's genuinely worried about it, which he said, then would he wait 4 years for the country to be destroyed?
Okay, first of all, Peter, Biden's not going to destroy the country. He's a centrist. He's going to basically keep things going how they always do. The rich are going to continue to get richer. America will continue to deteriorate as an empire, but that's been kind of the status quo since basically the 90s? Basically, since the Cold War, things have not been going great. Reagan didn't help. Anyway, Trump doesn't care about you, even if Biden was some secret maniacal person who goes to bed every night and goes, ha 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 ha, I'm going to drink the blood of babies. Like, Trump wouldn't give a shit. Trump wouldn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about you. And I'm not telling you Biden does either, but, like, Trump definitely doesn't.
And then try to win another
He's worried about money, not the country. Spongy Lord, thanks for gifting a sub.
rigged election? No way. He's literally telling us, without literally telling us, but he is directly and directly telling us, I will be taking the White House back sooner than you think. He literally said, I'll be taking taking back the White House sooner than you think. So, and he says he cares about the country and he doesn't like what's happening. That means it's impossible for him to be focused on 2024. And he said
Why?
many times before, guys, don't focus on 2024 or 2022 until we fix this election. So when Trump...
Peter, there's nothing to fix. The election was fine. The election was fine. Peter's going to lose his mind soon because we're coming to the end of 2021. So campaigning for midterms is about to start up, in early 2022, late 2021. So the discussion is going to be on midterms. And don't get me wrong, you're going to have your super right-wing candidates that are going to try and use, election fraud as like a talking point or whatever. But for the most part, everyone has fucking moved on, Peter. There have been no credible allegations of widespread fraud. There have been audits. Nothing has happened. There's been no evidence of wrongdoing. The country has moved on, Peter. So I'm wondering how he's going to react as we move into the midterm election cycle. Like is Peter going to vote? Is Peter going to go out and vote? Why would he if he thinks it's rigged? You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting. I hope he doesn't vote. Tucker White says, you'd think Peter would be happy with Joe Biden, considering he's doing just about everything Trump did, minus saying stupid shit on Twitter every 6 goddamn seconds. Right? Earlier in the year, too, there was even some military operation, I don't remember what it was, but Peter was like, see, Trump has to be in charge, because this is a good thing. But obviously Trump wasn't in charge, Biden was. And even now, Peter no longer thinks that Biden isn't really in charge. He thinks Biden is in charge, but illegitimately. So has Peter reflected on that at all? Has Peter thought to himself, wait a minute, I used to think that Trump did that, and I thought that military action was a good thing, but now I know that Biden is in command of the military except for the Space Force, because that's what he believes. So has he reflected for even a second and thought, does that mean I agree with Biden on something? I kind of doubt it. Garo the Khajiit says, no, he means fix the election the way mobsters use the word fix. Neurotic Nanette, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Much appreciated.
Trump's entire focus is on election fraud, fixing this election, getting back in the White House.
Wow, he sucks at his job. Why would you want him to be president?
Sooner than 2024, which means as soon as possible. That is great news. He's telling us, guys, keep your eye on the ball. No matter what distractions are going on, a lot of people are saying, oh, the Afghanistan thing is for distractions.
It's not. 20 years ago. Okay, 20 years ago. This is how Peter's brain apparently works. 20 years ago, the deep state, air quotes, orchestrated 9/11 in order to manufacture consent to invade the Middle East for 20 years in order to prepare for Donald Trump losing the 2020 election, and then he's going to rant about it just so they can pull out this year as a distraction. Does Peter think any of this through for even a second, and how dumb it sounds? Project Looking Glass, baby. No, Team Trump has Project Looking Glass. The deep state doesn't. If Peter gets COVID, is he going to blame Biden? Oh, yeah. If he or his family anyone in his family got seriously ill with COVID, I guarantee he would say something along the lines of, the deep state's on to me. They don't want me telling the truth, so they infected me with something. And they're calling it COVID. Like, he's too far in at this point. He can't admit he was wrong. Neurotic Nanette says, okay, so I'm Norwegian. I haven't been keeping up with US stuff that much, so I gotta ask, did Space Force actually become a thing? Yeah, it's a thing. Space Force was already a part of the Air Force under a different name. I think it was like the Strategic Space Command or something. I don't remember specifically. And it was already a plan for a long time to split it off into its own division, so they would have their own chief of staff and more autonomy. Basically, it just takes the space stuff that was being done by the Air Force and I think some other smaller parts of different branches and puts them all under one umbrella. I know people laugh at Space Force as a concept, and I kind of get it, because you hear the word Space Force, and it conjures images of, like, Star Wars or Star Trek, and everyone laughs. But, like, the reality is they basically just maintain the satellite arrays that the U.S. government, specifically the military sector of the U.S. government has. They maintain the satellites, use them for intel purposes, and stuff like that. There's like under 5,000 members of Space Force. Neurotic Nanette. Nope, read that one, sorry. Psychotropic Thunder says, is Peter a 9/11 truther? I actually don't know. H. Baird says, if something as greedy as Trump had a quantum computer so powerful it could predict the future, you know he'd just use it to mine Bitcoin. Honestly, I think if Trump had a future-telling thing, and it was like 2000, I don't know when Bitcoin started to be a thing, but he's like, oh, this Bitcoin's gonna be huge. Trump would just be looking at his computer, like, where do I hit it with a pickaxe to do the mining? Trump's a boomer. He doesn't understand computers.
The audit report is coming out next week, hopefully.
He'd use it for porn. Imagine having a device that could see the future, and you use it to view porn from the future. Try and Ads says 9/11 happened when I was 1 year old, so let's just say the Middle East being under America has been a fact of life for me. God, that's interesting. Because I'm right on the cusp. I remember 9/11 happening. I was old enough to remember it. And I remember, like, I flew on a plane once or twice before 9/11, so I do have that experience. I remember the difference. It's very interesting. People being born in a post 9/11 world must be, I guess that's not weird for you, but by contrast, it's kind of weird.
You know, crossing my fingers. That's what they're saying. And I have reason to believe that this is going to be the case. Now, there's been little tiny mini reports and little pieces of information that's leaked and have come out. And the deep state's panicked with that. But with this big report, it's going to be very exciting.
No one's panicking, Peter. No one cares about the fucking fraud
because this is the big bombshell report that's coming out. And
Mr. the Rat, bad. Bonk.
Really put the cream on the top. Durham report, don't forget about that. Durham is set to release his report at any time. Now, for maximum damage, remember, these are not just reports. These are nuclear weapon bombshell truth bombs. Like, these are reports that when dropped will do a ton of damage to people's reputation. So when is the ideal time to drop the Durham report? I'll tell you. What is the Durham report? Interestingly enough, the Durham report is the good guys investigating.
Okay, I'm going to give you a real answer because he's going to, Peter it. The Durham report is basically a report that was commissioned under the Trump administration in order to investigate why Trump was being investigated for Russia connections. Basically, it's Trump saying, "That was a witch hunt! Why were you witch hunting me?" Even though people were convicted under that witch hunt because they found actual witches. Harry K5 says, the fraud narrative is holding down Republican voters rather than helping them. It's keeping the insane like Peter from voting for the R's. I hope so. I honestly hope that between anti-vaxxers being idiots and this narrative of fraud depressing Republican voter turnout, I'm hoping midterms will go better than projected, but I guess we'll have to see. M. Scheffler says, when I become independently wealthy, I'm going to make a documentary called Saving Peter. I'd film him meeting with people who can explain critical thinking and the difference between claims and evidence. I don't think it would work, but I'd like to try. That'd be good. Hire me to be in the documentary. I will accept $100,000. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Neurotic Nanette says, thank you for the information in regards to Space Force. Of course.
The whole Russia, Trump stole
How old's Peter? I don't know off the top of my head. We're around the same age.
the election because of Russia. So this is a report.
Actually, no, he's a little older than me. I think he's like 32. That's a guesstimate. I don't remember the exact age, though.
That's going to come out any day now that's going to say that the Democrats lied and pretended that Trump stole the election because of Russia. It's literally a report that says that all those lies about Trump stealing the election in 2016, they were all lies. It's proven lies. We looked into it. We did a report. We did an investigation. It's all proven false. If that comes out the same week or even the same month as the audit report, which is all expected to come out in the next month, in the next week, the audit week is supposed to come out, the audit report is supposed to come out next week, the report's supposed to come out next week or at some point in the next month, then literally in the news cycle, it's going to say that Trump won the 2020 election.
Again, I don't know how Peter thinks the world works. I really don't. It's kind of befuddling when he says things like that. M. Scheffler says, I'd give $60,000. You have to be in a wheelchair just to F with Peter.
And the whole report of him, all this stuff about Russia, and how he cheated 2016 election, that was false. So in other words, on the news,
it would be helpful if you actually read the Mueller report.
It'll be, they lied about 2016 and saying that Trump stole it, and they lied about 2020 by saying Biden won it. So this is huge for maximum effect, for maximum damage. And that's why these reports have been delayed and they're going to be dropped in the most opportune time to do the most damage to people's reputation. What a better time to release your Durham report showing Biden team and Team Satan and Hillary and all that.
Team Satan sounds fun, but I don't know if I want to go to the same meetings as Hillary Clinton, Seems like it'd be awkward. Jacket and Claws says, this shit hurts my brain. Neurotic Nanette says, Hannah, I gotta say, your laugh adds years to my life. You're awesome. Thank you. Jamie Lynn says, if you're mid-20s, then my oldest kid is your age and I'm getting so old. I am 27. So.
They lied about.
Do with that information what you will.
The 2016 election. And another report that comes out and says they lied about the 2020 election. Their damage, their credibility will be destroyed. I mean, even if the audit report comes out next week, let's assume that it does, right? And the Durham report doesn't come out.
It's interesting that Peter thinks it's a foregone conclusion that the audit is going to find fraud. Because if they had, they would have been shouting it from the mountaintops. Just saying.
Next week, but maybe.
Blackwing Hecate says, why does Peter say win so strangely, R.E. Biden in the election? He has sort of an interesting way of speaking. He was raised in Panama, so that might have something to do with it.
Comes out in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now, it'll still do catastrophic damage. Because in people's minds, they can be like, oh, so they lied about 2020, And they also lied about 2016. So why should I trust the Democrats? Why should I trust Hillary, Joe Biden, the mainstream media, the fake news media, and all these people?
Yeah,
Don't
Peter,
trust them
you shouldn't trust any elections. You definitely shouldn't waste your time voting, and you should tell all your family and friends who are Donald Trump supporters also to not waste their time voting. I agree. Tucker White says, Peter, there's a greater chance of Detroit Lions winning a playoff game before Trump gets reelected. I really think Peter is a dedicated Poe. He's not. Sorry. Cool Cat says, but Hannah, Mike Pillow did find fraud. He shouted it for months. He did shout it, and then he didn't have any evidence to back it up, even though he had 3 days to present it. Fun!
They lied. We caught them. We investigated the Russia. It was all them being liars. So this is very exciting. It seems like things are finally heating up. I'm very excited about this. Remember, the audit report's coming out next week. The Durham report should be coming out any week now, hopefully for maximum damage next week or in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, very soon. We don't know when. It's not official. But with the audit, we do know the audit report is officially coming out next week. So bombshells coming, nuclear truth bombs incoming. We're going to do a lot of damage to the reputation. And
Try and Ad says, how long is Peter going to keep this up? Probably until his wife threatens to leave him unless he stops. Neurotic Nanette says, I'm happy to catch a live stream. I'm going to have to change my sleep schedule in the future to catch more streams. You don't have to change your sleep schedule for me. Bitter Grin says, the only fraud Mike Pillow is finding is in the mirror.
exciting things are going to happen. So let the Democrats have, their laughing day, and they can just make fun of us all they want. But at the end of the day...
Laughing day? Peter, I've been laughing since last November. Where have you been?
It's about to get really, really, really exciting. I know I've said that before, but I think next week, with the audit report out, that's when things get exciting. And remember, the deep state, the more we attack them, especially with this information about the audit, the more they're going to want to attack us. So be very careful. Be safe out there. You see something, say something. Trust the plan, guys.
What are we, at a fucking airport? And I'm supposed, if you see something, say something. What the fuck does that mean? Someone took the last loaf of bread at the supermarket, and I think they were part of the deep state, Peter.
Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Thank you so much for the people who've been donating. And God bless America.
Good Lord, Peter. Please seek help. So that's what Peter's up to. Try an Ad says, I love how your stream starts in the morning in Singapore, so it's a reminder for me to wake up. Blackwing Hecate says, if you see something, say nothing and drink to forget. Neurotic Nanette says, so Hannah, in regards to what you said about until Peter's wife leaves him, is that like a joke, or has she expressed displeasure in any way? I know she, at least according to him, he could be lying, who knows. A previous video that I covered, he wanted me to delete, and I did at the time because I was trying to be on relatively friendly terms with him. And she apparently expressed to him that if that video didn't get deleted, he wasn't allowed to make videos anymore about this. But he was probably lying to me. Stromboli for Wi-Fi with a cleanse. Tucker White says, by the way, does Peter seriously think anyone actually trusts Biden and the Democrats? Anyone who's not a paid shill? His approval rating's been on the decline for months now. I honestly don't know. I would imagine he is projecting how he feels about Trump onto Democrats, and he assumes that because we voted for Joe Biden that we must love him slavishly like he does Trump. I don't know. This is a cleanse.
Why you came, where did I go wrong?
Jesus. Nick says, I want to see his wife do a CC. Alright, let's see what Tate's up to. He has 3 new videos. 2 of them are on the Taliban. And I don't know if it'll surprise you guys to find that Tate is on the side of the Taliban and he thinks they're badass. So,
According to the American propaganda machine, men and women are equal in every regard. Men do not have a biological advantage. We are not more adept at war. We are not more important or valuable than females, right? We're all the
If something you think is positive about your gender is that you're better at war, you have a really poor view of your gender. If the best thing you can say about yourself is you're more adept at killing other people, stop. What the fuck?
same. Everyone is absolutely equal in American and Western society. Afghanistan's been under American rule for 20 years. A bunch of girls go into American schools learning all this garbage about how men are not more capable in certain regard than others. Women can do it if a man can do it. Girl power, blah, blah, blah. So why are the girls in Afghanistan praying for the men of the Afghani security services to repel the Taliban so they can keep going to school? I thought men and women were equal. Why can't the women do it themselves?
I honestly think that the US government probably should have put more money into training and arming women in Afghanistan. I don't know how much of that there already was, but I think they probably would have had more skin in the game. I'm just saying. The Afghan security forces that were left there folded immediately due to a variety of reasons. The corrupt government that was installed by the United States apparently hadn't been paying them for months. But yeah, arming women probably would have helped. Of course, Tate's being facetious here. He doesn't actually want that, but...
Why can't they girl power and get an AK and say, you're not closing my school down, and go teach the Taliban a lesson about fucking female empowerment?
Neurotic Nanette says, regardless of what Pete or his wife thinks, I think you've been absolutely lovely to him. Depends on the day. Spongy Lord says, despite everything, I kind of like Peter. He still reminds me of one of the more eccentric libertarian friends. I still reserve a speck of hope he emerges from this cult of Trump, but against my better intuition. Even if he comes out of the QAnon thing, he'll fall into something else. He's fallen into multiple scams before. He was born in a cult. He's probably just fucked. Trianad says, we've known that both of them were on the same side.
Or is the reality of Earth slapping them in the face? That all this liberal garbage and all these stupid ideas, the only reason they're allowed to exist is because somewhere, at some point, there are men willing to defend the ideas. All these feminists and all these women who believe certain things will refuse to accept that at certain points you're going to need a man to defend your idea. That's what's going to happen. And right now, you're...
Blackwing Hecty says, never forget, and it's a link to the dedication at the end of Rambo 3. Can I turn the captions on? I would, but there are no captions on this video, I'm sorry. There's only a minute left, though.
So the Afghani security services, which believed in females being educated, who are not prepared to fight for the idea, so the other people...
I very much don't think that most of the people who were enlisted's the wrong... I don't think the people who signed up for the Afghan military much cared for the rights of women. Most of them, at least.
Well, the Taliban, who don't believe they should be educated, who aren't prepared to fight, are about to turn up, walk into school, put some hijabs on them all, and marry them off to goat farmers. What's your female empowerment going to do about that? What have you learned under the pride flag that's going to save you from the hand of Akbar when the food's not ready on time? Nothing! It's all bullshit! All feminism, all girl empowerment, all of this crap means nothing.
Terrible people, specifically terrible men in the Taliban coming in to take away the rights of women, doesn't mean women shouldn't have rights or be empowered. It means those people are bad, Tate. It means they're evil? It means they're evil. Like, this would be like saying, well, Hitler rose to power, so... everyone that Hitler and the Nazis targeted, you stupid bitches. Like, do you see how that's like a really dumb thing to say? You can't do that. Evil people hurting others doesn't mean they're right. The ability to harm others does not make your position inherently correct. A Colston says, does Tate realize how much beta energy he radiates? Even chuddier people I know call Tate a bitch. Garo the Khajiit says, God, I hate Tate so much. If I were more pretty, I'd put a nameless, mook in my comic for my 7-foot-tall lesbian tabaxi barbarian to beat the hell out of, but I'm not that petty yet. Nick says, how many blows to the head did he take in his MMA career? I think he was a kickboxer. Blackwing Hecate says, might does not make right. I agree. Tucker White says, since we're on the subject, here's a story on Afghanistan that might interest everyone. Let's see. Stop with the subscription things. I've reached my limit of free articles, so I can't read this. Thanks, New York Times.
Without a man at some point willing to fight the other men who do not agree with it. It's entirely a man's world, regardless of what your female view is. It's always been about different ideologies fought between men.
Put a period between the com and the /live. Let's try it. No, it pops back up anyway. It works for like a second. So that's video number 1 saying that the Taliban is good. Andrew Patella says, also, he's pitting men against women here as if there wasn't a social context that, despite the cultural advancement during the American occupation, still gives men a lot more privilege, as if disempowered groups are expected to fight by themselves with no support from the privileged. Trianad says, Tate actually wants all these things, but for his own faction instead of the Taliban. Yeah. Also doesn't have captions either.
Anyone who's watching this video knows that I am an internationally renowned and largely respected geopolitical commentator and expert.
Right. And I'm a bodybuilder.
My name is Henry Andrew Tate III, and I am a genius. Let me explain something to you. Do you know whose fault it is that Taliban has reconquered Afghanistan? It's the fault of hoes.
That's a take. Nick with 30 bits says, X to doubt.
You heard me. Hoes.
You know, the Taliban has retaken Afghanistan because of, quote, hoes. I don't even know how to begin to address that as a statement. So let's just continue to listen in.
It's your fault, because the explain something to you. Do you know whose fault it is that Taliban has reconquered Afghanistan? It's the fault of hoes. You heard me. Hoes. Western. It's your fault, because the Taliban were only fighting against the American war machine to try and preserve their way of life, because they understood that if you liberate females, you end up with the Western female. The Western female is brutally in near every way. You know what? I have a lot of Muslim friends in London, and they look.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I don't know where you would report this at timestamp wise, but if anyone wants to, here's a link to the video, I guess.
Look around sometimes in the nightclubs and they tap me on the shoulder and say,
Neurotic Nanette says, so, gardening hose? Yeah. Garden hose.
There's girls in England, but there's no wives. And they're completely correct.
The kind of person who says that is absolutely the kind of person no one should be with. I swear these people want a sex slave that's also their mom. Like, they want someone who's gonna pick up after them, but also fuck them. It's so weird.
If you were living in Afghanistan, you did not have any money, you did not have physical prowess, you don't have a Lamborghini, you have none of the things it would take to...
Yeah, so if I live in Afghanistan, my number one concern is that I don't have a Lamborghini. Rah Inc. says, anytime a man refers to a woman as females, his opinion on anything are entirely irrelevant. I hate Tate. Stephen J. Neptune Man says, Tate's not a real person, right? He's a method actor studying for a role. He's a wrestler trying out a new gimmick.
Attract a female. The only reason you're going to get females is because she understands she's indebted to a husband and she must remain loyal. If she was liberated, she would just cheat, because you ain't got shit. Would you allow these women to be free? To be liberated? Look what they...
I can't even imagine contextualizing relationships in that sort of transactional way. What an empty life you'd have to live, and how lonely to believe that any time that you're in a relationship with someone that it's purely transactional in nature. My goodness. Why would you even want to live your life? I don't understand. M. Scheffler says, men who've never been in the military talking about how military should operate make me laugh. I work with women in the military that are better aircraft mechanics than I am every day. Like 90% of military jobs do not require the ability to beat someone in hand-to-hand combat. Colston says, Tate says he has Muslim friends, but I know someone who went to school with him in England, and he told me that Tate would get his ass kicked because he was racist towards all the minority students. I'll take that with a grain of salt anytime anyone's like, I knew a guy who knew a guy. Simple Cat Girl says, Tate, your entire business is based on sex workers. If women weren't liberated to do sex work, you wouldn't have money or women to tolerate you, you piece of shit. Neurotic Nanette says, it's embarrassingly ridiculous how hard fragile masculinity is riding these dudes. I know. And Archangel, thanks for 10 months.
They do in the West. Look how they use their freedom. They suck. No.
Tate, do you not like getting your dick sucked? If you don't want women to suck dick, who's sucking your dick?
Stop. Hi. Nice to meet you.
His sex worker just got here that he has no respect for, so the video has to end. Jesus Christ. We need to start a global sex worker union for the specific purpose of every sex worker needs to agree to stop fucking Tate. Because clearly 99% of his sexual encounters come by paying sex workers. Bellum Guardian says, Tate is just looking for a twink boyfriend to suck his dick. Seriously though, I'm not joking. I'm like 99% sure that was a sex worker because he immediately was like, oh, hi, how are you? And the camera panned over and the cameraman was already touching her ass. I would hope he's not just... For one thing, I don't think you should be, groping the sex worker immediately when she shows up anyway. Like, you talk about boundaries and shit before... It feels like he ordered an escort and she just showed up mid-filming. So he felt the need to stop. Dr. White says, Hannah, quoting me, what kind of life is it to live when every relationship is transactional? Also, rich bitch Hannah, ha ha ha, I'll be taking your Bezos bucks now, peasants. Andrew Patella says, sex worker union goals. 1, stop fucking Tate. 2, get a proper OnlyFans clone that won't bow down to capitalism. Someone recommends a vegan teacher video. Okay. So that's what Tate's up to. He did another video that says only women should cook, but I think I've had my fill of Tate today. Just like the sex worker. Anyway, what's this video? H. Baird says, we need to start painting plate carriers bright pink with little bunnies on them. Actual military people need the protection and thus won't care, and stupid posers will stop wearing them to look cool. Oh god, this is an hour and a half long. Let's watch a little bit of it though. Let's see how it goes, and then we'll watch the McDonald's video. Tryin' Ad says, conservatism is hypocritical in its weird insistence to be selfish and possessive. Like, who's gonna fuck the men if women aren't allowed to be hoes? Right?
Hello, students! Welcome to class! Today we're going to be reviewing this channel here who did a video. This person, D'Angelo Wallace, did a video about that vegan teacher saying she leads a double life. A terrifying double life, too. Not just a double life, but a terrifying one. Those
are kind of cute. I don't know if those are 3D printed cat ears, but... like, I like the minimalist design of those cat ears, and I normally roll my eyes at cat ears on headphones.
So...
she's clout chasing. Oh, I know. She never responds to anyone who criticizes her who doesn't have more subscribers than her. Ever. Like, it's entirely clout chasing.
I've made out these score sheets, and we're going to be watching what kind of words come out of that vegan teacher's mouth and what kind of words come out of D'Angelo Wallace's mouth. And we're going to give check marks and X's, and we're going to see who wins this competition. Who is the best presenter here? Who is the best person who's advocating about the animals? Who is the person who gives a shit the most about someone besides themselves?
She's already... Vegan Teacher has an interesting, like... an under the surface rage that you can feel sometimes. And she is furious at this guy. He looks familiar. I think I've seen some of his videos before on some sort of drama stuff. Maybe even videos on her. I don't know. But she is seething at this man. Jamie Lynn says, hey, I'm listening to you with my cat ear headphones. I love cat ears. Guys, I have nothing against cat ear headphones. They're fine. Procagon with 1,000 bits says, yeet. I especially can't say that. I'd be hypocritical because I'm going to have to wear cat ears during D&D campaign 2. So, have to. I'm going to.
Here we go. You guys do the same thing. Make some cards. These are just from recycled cardboard. You can just take it from any cracker package or any kind of box of cereal that you have. Just reuse it. You know, why not? Give it a second life. Good for the environment. And when we protect the environment, we also protect the animals who live here with us, right? We all live together in harmony here on this planet. Well, we're trying to. All right, let's have a look. Let's listen.
To do right now. We are about to look at that vegan teacher on TikTok, and we're probably going to regret it.
All right. Already planning to be negative about something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's covered you before. He knows what you're like. It's pretty easy to be negative about you. You're terrible.
That gets an X, I think. You have to go into things with an open mind.
Are you? Are you? Because never once have I seen you go into a video with an open mind. I've seen you facetiously pretend to do that. But no, I've never seen you actually do that.
You know, don't you think? Yeah. All right, so let's see. D'Angelo Wallet. We're probably going to regret it. Let's give that an X. There we go. First X. Let's see, though. But did he show some images of that vegan teacher? Did she do anything weird or...
So what are we about to do right now? We are about to look at that
Okay, let's see. So
if she mentioned his... If at any point in this video that we watch... It has to be a part we watch. If at any point in the parts of this video that we watch, she comments on his cat ears and says, like, it's offensive for him to wear cat ears because he's, like, appropriating cat culture, or anything along the lines of, like, he shouldn't be wearing the cat ears for some weird reason, I'll gift someone a sub. Jamie Lynn, thank you for gifting tier 1 sub.
let's see what she's got there on the screen. USA. Oh yeah, this is a character. That vegan teacher played a character, and the character, well, she had a couple of...
Why are you talking about yourself in the third person? You're that vegan teacher. Hannah's getting upset!
Characters. One of them was that vegan nurse when she wears the ponytails. She's playing a character of a nurse. And in real life, I, that vegan teacher, am also a nurse. So, but this is an exaggerated, silly version. I mean, completely over the top. Somebody extremely emotional and extremely passionate about the animals and wears her emotions on the sleeve. Okay, now what's she writing here? And she's pretending to be from the US.
It sure would be a shame if during this vegan teacher bit, I ate some Parmesan cheese crisps. That would be a bummer, right?
And I'm not, I'm Canadian. Everybody knows that, I think.
Vegan teacher. Is it okay if I eat these dried cow secretions? Colston says, oh good, she's a nurse. That explains everything.
Well, now you do. All right, it says here, the dairy industry is very cruel. Okay, that's true. So let's give her a check mark for that.
She's praising herself and pretending she's not her. That's kind of weird. Nick says, how does vegan teacher feel about furries? I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. Those are so good. I know. This is the first... I tried them for the first time the other day. We got Baja and I got a Costco membership. And we went there for the first time and they were selling these. And They're really good.
Because definitely the dairy industry is very cruel. What else does it say here? They penetrate the mother cows, the R word, she means rape. She's too polite to say it, I guess. They kidnap and kill the baby cows so people can steal their milk. Okay, so let's give her another check mark for that box, because those are the truth, and it's important to tell the truth.
Vegan teacher on TikTok, and we're probably going to regret it.
Why? Why would you have such a negative attitude? You're just starting.
This is
The vegan what? Supremacist? What did that say? The vegan?
Neurotic Nanette says, cow secretions, get some shrimp and scampi, chili aioli. Oh, there was no space. Chialia, I don't know. Wait. Chili aioli.
What are you trying to read?
Don't worry. Chili aioli. Okay. Whatever. Shut up. Shut up, acid. You come on stream and you do it.
Okay, well, vegans don't think that they are supreme over others. That's exactly what
you do. You absolutely do. We've seen your show before.
They're vegan.
Hey, Cass. Come on. Say hello to the fine people.
Because they don't think that they are better than other species. They're trying to protect everyone
You think you're better than everyone else, though. People.
equally. They believe that
Scintilla says, hi all, hope everyone's having a good day in spite of vegan teacher. We're doing our best.
animals have a right to not be raped, to not be kidnapped, to not be enslaved, to not be put behind bars, to not be mistreated.
What if the cow is a rapist?
So you call that a
74Quinn74 says, anathema.
supremacist? I think you're mistaken. I think that people like you, D'Angelo Wallace, who actually pay people to hurt animals.
You're doing the thing he's saying you do. Neurotic Nanette says, chili aioli. I'm sorry, Hannah. I'm Norwegian. We combine words to make new words in our language.
Are more the supremacist. So let's give you an X just for putting that on your screen. That's pretty messed up. You really don't understand what veganism is. See, it's not about it's not about
Freudian slip. It's not about the animals. Yeah, for you, I'm sure it's not. It's about feeling like you're better than other people.
Oh, she said it's not about the animals?
Yeah.
That's funny.
the plants or anything. It is about the animals. Being vegan means that you just don't believe in speciesism, which is the first form of racism. Let's see if I have a card that says that here somewhere. I know I made one time. Oh, here it is. See? Speciesism is the first form of racism.
She wrote it on a card. That means it's true. You can't write things on cards that aren't true.
Yeah, when we teach kids that it's okay to step on ants or to pull the, trap butterflies in their hands.
As a kid, I ate an ant once.
To take animals and use them as objects, to sell them, to wear them. We're teaching, basically, speciesism. And we're teaching them that we are more superior and that there's some sort of hierarchy there. But is that really true? Like, what about people?
I mean, what do you mean by true? Is there a...
No, Lou.
What do you mean by true? Is there a food web in which humans are sort of separated from because we don't have any natural predators anymore? Unless you live out in the middle of nowhere and they're like, whatever. Even then, no. Even if we're getting by, like, let's say a bear mauls you, usually they're just defending themselves or they feel they're defending themselves, unless they're a polar bear. Polar bears are nature's psychopaths. Try an ad says, sips miso soup contentedly. It has fish stock in it. Simple Cat Girl says, Every time she says speciesism is racism, my black ass wants to kick her into space.
True. Who are born with less mental capacity. Do you think of yourself as being more supreme to them? Because vegans, we think that everybody has a purpose here on Earth, and that
Am I more supreme to a chicken? What do you mean by supreme? I'm more intelligent than a chicken. I'm stronger than a chicken. Do I think I'm morally superior to a chicken? I don't think that applies.
You can't run around with your head cut off like a chicken.
That's true. We haven't tried. We could try and cut my head off and see how long I
don't even want to joke about that.
No, we can just put it back on. It's fine.
Just stop. Everyone has something to offer. Every ant, every bee,
Try not to roll your chair.
every animal,
I'm right here,
and that we are trying to live in nature happily here and protect the environment. That's where we're all about. So maybe you don't understand that.
I barely use my body anyway, is all I'm saying. If we could put my head on some other apparatus, like on a drone. Ooh, okay, let's get like a drone. And I'll put my head on it, and then I'll just fly around everywhere.
No, that doesn't work for me.
Why?
I like your body.
I'll be a drone with hands.
Okay, but I like your body.
We'll keep that in a closet, and we'll still use that for other... It'll be... We'll put it in the drawer with the straps and stuff.
You're giving people such wrong ideas.
Neurotic.
Those straps were from a previous relationship.
I more meant the harness. Other than, do we even still have those straps? I thought we threw those out.
I don't know. You said
Okay.
you said they were expensive. You didn't want to throw them out.
Oh, we can throw them out. I don't care. Procagom says drone Hannah can have all kinds of attachments.
The only attachment I want is you.
Okay.
I just want to be able to give you nice snuggles and hugs.
Okay. What if we attached my head to a waifu body pillow?
No!
Okay.
God damn it, I want your body, not a fucking body pillow.
But like Moses says, or right ideas. I don't know what that means. Mr. the Rat says, chat will run with this info for ages to come.
But anyway, let's keep going.
This is not going to be a, meat eater bro dunks on crazy vegans video. This
Oh no? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see if it's true.
is more so me just being extremely concerned at the actions of an individual who has amassed a rather large audience on TikTok.
You're concerned? Okay. What are you concerned about?
You give veganism a bad name? That's concerning. Neurotic Nanette says, OMFG, Hannah, she likes your body. I know, guys, do you think she has a crush on me? Should I ask her on a date?
Because somebody was
No. Maybe we should have chat vote on it. Should I go on a date with Hannah?
trying to protect animals has amassed 1.6 at the time. That was 1.6 million followers. That concerns you? Why does that concern you?
Because you make vegans look crazy. When, on the whole, no, vegans are not. You just make vegans look bad.
You don't want people to be protecting animals?
Rah Rah Inc. says, Baha, you're so sweet. Which I concur with.
Thank you.
Because you want to keep eating them? Stealing their milk?
Well, you should get up and say hello.
Murdering their babies and turning them into veal sandwiches? Is that it? I don't know. I don't know if I should put an X.
Would you really eat veal on a sandwich? Feels like you'd just eat the veal, right? I feel like it would get drowned out in a sandwich.
There, because I don't really know what you're saying, but it sounds bizarre. Oh, here's that meat teacher. Look at that. That meat teacher, Miss Tofu. That was another character that I played. Yeah. Cool.
Hey.
Oh, it's like a walk down memory lane here.
That vegan teacher, also known as Miss Katie. She has 1.6 million followers, 32 million likes. We have smaller content.
That's a lot of people that liked me. You know why? Because people like people who are trying to be kind to animals and protect the environment and human health, by the way. Yeah, being vegan is also good for health.
Creators, even some
Neurotic Nanette says, maybe if the bread for the veal sandwich is undercooked. I don't know. I've never had veal and don't ever intend to, so I don't know what it's like.
Bigger ones.
Thank you for clarifying.
Clarifying what?
Been calling her out. They definitely frame her as like, oh, she's a crazy vegan.
They frame her as she's a crazy vegan. Why do they do that?
I'm gonna be a little less nice. It's because she's a crazy vegan.
Oh, that's the character. That's that vegan nurse, and she's there eating tofu. She was so crazy. So that was on voting day. Excuse me, I have a little allergy to something. I don't know what. But, yeah, that was on voting day in the U.S. And this character was American, and she was running out the door and didn't know who to vote for. Should she vote for Trump? Should she vote for Biden? And she was, like, running out with her tofu and just basically saying, I don't know who to vote for. What do I do? Tell me what to do. And just trying to play with her audience. Meanwhile, you know, giving the example that we should eat tofu. So actually, that's a good example there. We should be eating tofu. She's not eating a hot dog there. She's not hurting any animals. And it's kind of funny eating tofu directly out of the package with nothing on it, not cooked. But hey, that's good. I'm going to give that vegan teacher another check mark there.
That's you! Stop acting like you're not grading yourself, you weirdo! Try an ad says, white vegans are something else. Asian vegetarians, vegans do it because they're religious or pursuing something philosophical. It's to be humble, while white vegans seem to be doing it for superiority. Also, hi, Baha. It entirely depends. Most vegans I've ever known, are not like vegan teacher at all. She's not typical. She's just very loud. Neurotic Nanette says, Hannah and Baha is my relationship goal.
And it's like, she totally is?
Oh, that was when I used to talk on the phone to God, and I still do sometimes. You know, so, oh, here it is. Here's my banana phone. Look at that. This is very special. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, because of the light. It's not really black. It says, can you see it up close? Does that make a difference? Oh, no, you can't see it. Anyways, it says Heaven Hot.
How does chroma keying work?
Line. Oh, too bad about the green screen. I guess bananas have a lot of yellow in them. And so oh, too bad about the green screen. I guess bananas have a lot of yellow in them.
They do.
And so that doesn't work. Oh, it's the same for my flag. I noticed that. I noticed my flag here. Look. See that? Because of the green screen, you can't see. This is purple, blue. This you can't see. It's green, and this is
yeah. It's it keys out the color. We know.
Yellow. Yellow has a hard time as well, and that's orange here, and that's red. My flag. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's continue.
But yeah.
Oh, there she's dancing. What'd she say here? It's happy hour. Time to be Christian. God loves vegans. Oh, the good old days of TikTok. What does it say there? Oat milk. That's it. Good job, vegan teacher, promoting to drink oat milk. Great.
It has a lot less to do with...
Oh, there was rice milk on the screen too. Good, another check mark.
This is not even a response video. This is just vegan teacher congratulating yourself for an hour. This is terrible.
And now...
TikTok is still around, but she got banned, so...
Almond milk, all of these. Great job, vegan teacher. Much better than drinking cow's milk, which is stolen. You know, in the dairy industry, they steal the milk from the mother cows. Yeah, it's really sad. They also rape the mothers. They force them to be pregnant against their will. There's no consent there. And they also turn the babies into veal sandwiches. They take the baby boys...
Why are you obsessed with the idea of a veal sandwich? Is that a common thing? Hold on. Yeah. Veal sand! Procgom says, is she getting off to this? And Austin Rosenberg says, do you think that vegan teacher would vote for Hitler because he's vegan? I don't know. Apparently veal cutlet sandwiches are a thing. I've never had veal, and I don't really intend to. I don't think veal is super popular anymore because of the ethical concerns.
Away. They slit their throats. Can you imagine taking a baby away from a mother? How sad that is. That's the dairy industry. Most people don't know about that. Maybe D'Angelo Wallace doesn't know about that, but here's that vegan teacher speaking out against all of these things. Yeah, because she gives a shit. Another check mark for her. It's good to care about people and animals and the environment, something beyond oneself. Let's see if D'Angelo Wallace does that ever.
With veganism and a lot more to do with this individual person. Katie.
Okay, I don't know why you have a problem with that individual person. Maybe we'll find out something terrible she's done.
If you're watching this video, I just want you to know I truly have no beef with vegans.
Oh, that old joke. Oh my goodness, you're so funny, D'Angelo Wallace. You don't have a beef with vegans, but yet you're bringing...
Do I think she thinks she's actually accomplishing anything? There are absolutely merits to veganism, but browbeating people into it makes most people want to spite you. I think she probably thinks so.
...out the term beef, and you know that that's a dead animal. That's kind of vegan phobic. You know?
That pun is vegan phobic. Good lord.
No? Like trying to be mean on purpose? Yeah. Not okay. You know, we don't like to hear that word because it reminds us of the suffering that the animal...
Wait, we're not allowed to say beef in front of you anymore? I can't say the word beef. What can I say? Chicken? Because chicken is both the word for the animal and the food. Chicken. Can I say pork?
...animals went through.
Nick says, yay, new Super Mario 64 randomizer, PB. Now I can go eat some meat. I don't know what that means. Procagom, thanks for 2 months.
Would you like it if somebody took your life?
Poultry, yeah.
And shoved your body and forced you to give sperm against your will? That's what they do in the industry.
He's a person? He's a person. Again, I've said this before. Most people do not consider non-human animals on the same ethical level in terms of rights as human beings. If that's your contention, that they should be considered as such, and their bodily autonomy should be respected in exactly the same way as human beings, then you need to make the case for that. Because most people are not on that page. I'm not even on that page. I don't consider non-human animals to be at the same level of humans in terms of respecting their rights. I don't think you should hurt animals. I think animals should have rights in terms of being protected against abuse and stuff. And I don't like factory farming, and I don't think you should mistreat animals. But also, they're not human beings. They're not the same as you and me, in my view, ethically. So if you want to make that point, then you need to make that point. You can't act like everyone already agrees with that statement, because they don't.
Yeah.
Someone should tell her not to have a cow.
They rape the males as well. And then they kill them when they're tired of them. And they turn them into McDonald's burgers, and they turn them into any kind of burgers, and the pigs, they turn them into sausages. Are you okay with that? Yeah. So don't say that in the future. I don't have a beef with you. First of all, it's a very old joke, and it's actually not really funny. It's kind of...
Man, she really has a beef with that pun.
...painful. Kind of vegan phobic. Let's give you an X for that. I know you think you're being clever, but it's not very original.
I'm here to call out some other behavior, which I think, should probably stop. The first
I know it should probably stop. I don't know. Hopefully you're going to tell me.
point I want to talk about when it comes to looking at her TikToks, the fact that she seems to think non-vegans are evil.
Non-vegans are evil.
Case closed! We did it! Hold on. We did it!
D'Angelo, every time that you pay money, you give money out of your wallet to an industry that harms animals. Okay, take your pick. Is that evil or is it kind? Is it a nice thing to do? To pay somebody? To rape, enslave, torture, kidnap babies, and then murder them? Put pigs in gas chambers? Is that okay with you?
Most people would consider these morally neutral acts because the vast majority of people don't consider animals ethically the same as human beings. They consider them as property of human beings and chattel to be done with as they see fit. I'm not that far in terms of not giving a shit. I care. I want animals to be treated well before they're killed or whatever. But yeah, no, most people don't couch those actions in the terms she's using. Pardlock Moses says that pun did get under her skin because she spent several minutes talking about it.
Pick it. Good or bad? I think you kind of get an X there.
Jesus is vegan now, and God is too. If you want to get to heaven, you better be vegan too.
Apparently, Jesus and God are vegan.
Why'd you stop the song? That's a fun...
Jesus, one of his most famous actions was literally making a bunch of fish for people to eat. Jesus was not a vegan. He ate meat. He made meat for people. He killed a whole herd of pigs because they were full of demons or something. I think actually, okay, was this the Legion one? I think this is when he was exorcising the person and they were full of demons, and this might have been the time when it was a bunch of demons and they're like, we are Legion, which is where that comes from. If you've played Mass Effect or seen the show Legion, that's what that illusion is from. And he casts out the demons and puts them in a herd of pigs, or whatever you call a group of pigs, and then runs them off a cliff. Jesus isn't vegan. He's killed animals before.
Song.
I starting with this one because to me, this is very satire-y. But then I found...
Wait, you're not even going to talk about the song? Jesus is vegan and God is too. If you want to get to heaven, you better...
God is not vegan if you're talking about the Christian God. Explicitly in Genesis, God tells people to eat meat. He basically says, again, I'm not Christian, so I don't think this is true, but I'm telling you what the Bible says. God says in the Bible, I put these animals here for you to eat. Eat them. They're yours. This whole world is yours. Everything here is for you. Do what you want with it.
Be vegan too.
Which is why it's often difficult for evangelicals to be told that we need to take care of the environment, because they think it's ours to do with what we please. Stone Corpel says God literally requires burning of fig tree... God literally requires the burning of offerings of meat on an altar until Jesus, according to Christians. True. Neurotic Nanette says Jesus also cursed a bunch of fig trees because he couldn't eat from them because they were out of season. So I guess nobody ever can eat from them either. And then Sin T Law says Abel was preferred by God because his sacrifice was meat. Yeah, I get the feeling she hasn't read any of the Bible. Not that you have to, but if you're gonna, if you're gonna try and make statements like God is vegan and so is Jesus, implying you're talking about the Christian God, you should maybe know a little bit about what the fuck you're talking about. It's not even far into the book. It's in like the first 3 pages. Blackwing Hecate says if God was a vegan, vampires would be a blight rather than Canaanite. Cainite. Vampires would be a blight rather than Cainite. Is there a canon somewhere where vampires descend from Cain? I'm not familiar. Nick says, Jesus Christ, she talks so much. The video was an hour and a half long. Yeah, we'll finish this up soon. I'm kind of tired of her shit. Variegated, thanks for 5 months. Says, thanks for the outstanding entertainment. Thanks for being a wonderful audience member.
That's a song that I composed.
WOD, yeah? What's WOD stand for?
Because...
World of Darkness, gotcha.
There were all these religious people who were saying...
That XY Girl says, there's a tabletop RPG game where vampires descend from Cain. Yeah, there was also, I forget what canon this was, but there was one where they descended from, oh shoot, why can't I think of his name? Judas! And that was the explanation, and that's why vampires were averse to crucifixes, because they descended from Judas, who had helped Jesus get crucified. Chrysia says, Vampire the Masquerade does Kane as the first vampire. Dracula 2000. Yeah, that's what it's from.
Oh, my religion allows me to pay people to hurt animals. So I was saying, I don't think so. In fact, if Jesus were here right now, he'd probably be very proud of that vegan teacher.
I can't... I'm not gonna... It's kind of hard to talk about fictional characters and how they would feel about things when you're not the author, you know what I mean? It'd be like me trying to explain how I think Frodo Baggins would feel about something. Like, I don't know, I didn't write the character.
So, I'm not sure what you're doing there. Let's give you an X for that, because it's definitely not a check mark. Oh, D'Angelo, this isn't looking too good. Look at this score so far. We're just getting started. Now, come on. Say something good about...
This is like the most passive-aggressive, like, shit ever. This has, like, mad, passive-aggressive grandma energy. It's really, really sad.
Helping the animals? Talk about how...
I don't mean that... I don't mean that in an ageist way, by the way. I just mean, like, specifically my own mom's mom. Like, if you get on her the wrong way, there's a certain level of passive aggression that comes out. I didn't mean that because she's in her 50s. I meant that specifically because she reminds me of my grandmother.
Health, the environment, talk about how you don't want them to suffer. Show me that you give a shit beyond yourself, and your grade will go up. We're not going to give up on D'Angelo just yet.
This other TikTok, for the record here, she's responding to a comment that she got that said, my girlfriend is a vegetarian, but at least that's better than eating meat. And this was that vegan
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, it is. If your intent is harm reduction for animals, then yes, it is better. Yes, it's better. Stop with this all or nothing bullshit. You're hurting veganism.
Vegetarian is still eating meat in a different...
Neurotic Nanette says, so she basically just fills out the scorecard by ignoring everything that doesn't fit with her narrative? Never seen that before, right, guys?
...form. You're eating white meat. White meat is cheese and milk. And now, why do we call it that? Because it comes from the murder in this cycle of violence that is the beef industry and the dairy industry. So some people think that being vegetarian is good, that it's somehow a step towards veganism. But is it?
Yes.
No. I was vegetarian for a long time too, thinking I was doing good until...
So it was a step to you becoming vegan, you absolute idiot. Some people think vegetarianism is a step to veganism. It isn't. Now let me tell you how I was a vegetarian before I became vegan. How can someone be this dumb? What?
A vegan came up to me and said, excuse me, you have an awful lot of cheese on your pizza. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, why?
That person was an asshole if this situation happened. I kind of don't believe it, but if they are, that's really shitty. If someone came up to me and was like, wow, your pizza has a lot of cheese on it, I'd be like, yeah, isn't it great? And they're like, you shouldn't eat cheese. And I'd be like, oh, fuck you. Mind your own business.
The dairy industry murders baby boy cows, rapes the females, kidnaps the baby boys, and turns the females, the baby girls, back into the cycle of violence. Rapes them, takes their milk away. I don't know. It seems like that's all wrong. So if somebody's vegetarian, that's not okay. Vegetarians also pay for eggs. And in the egg industry, there's a huge conveyor belt. And what happens is the baby chicks get put down.
This is her favorite anecdote for some reason, and I don't know why. Like, If she's going for straight up shock factor, there are worse things the meat and dairy industry does to animals. She is very focused on the chicks getting ground up thing, and I don't know why. Hydrate. Thanks, Speedy Yoshi.
If they're boys, into this giant vat that cuts them to shreds, murders them, because they'll never be able to lay eggs. They're considered to be useless in the industry. So vegetarians are not good people.
Teacher's response.
It's not good enough just to be vegetarian. Ah, good job. Yes, she said it. All right, another check mark for that vegan teacher. Does she have anything on this thing? Don't date abusive people. Oh, that's good. Right, because
this is like psychotic behavior. I'm not saying that clinically, I'm saying that colloquially. Like, who watches their own video and praises themselves and pretends like it's not them? This is the weirdest narcissistic behavior ever.
People who pay others to hurt animals, that's kind of abusive, isn't it?
Okay, let's start skipping through, because she's barely playing the guy's video. Again, the video the guy made is 10 minutes long, and she made an 1.5-hour response video because she's pausing every 3 seconds to praise herself.
Pick a word, D'Angelo. If somebody pays somebody to hurt you, is that abusive or not abusive? Is to raise awareness of the subject, to stir up society, to disrupt society. Just like they did when they needed to get, the women in the past wanted to have the right to vote and not be considered objects and being owned by the men that they were with, owned by their husbands. How ridiculous is that? Women had to go to the streets and say, we refuse this.
Okay. If a cow would like to, and this is a bullshit argument, by the way. I recognize that this is a bullshit argument. I just want to point out why her argument itself is kind of like, eh. If cows want to take to the street, and Susan C. Anthony, the C stands for cow, is like, we demand rights for cows, then this comparison makes sense. Bad comparison. Goth Geek Gaming says, Hannah, I used the low and slow method for making melts rather than grilled cheese that you and Jake talked about. Thank you both for that cooking lesson. I hope you have many delicious melts moving forward. Jack and Claus says, veganism is her religion and she's going to tell you about it all the damn time. Nick also says, a bullshit argument talking about cows.
And people like Rosa Parks, who sat on the bus, she also disrupted the society there. She said, I'm not getting off this bus because, whoops, I'm moving this shelf under here. Yeah, she disrupted society, and that's how she got attention, right? So that's how what we have to do here is just to disrupt, get the conversation.
We need a chicken to sit in the front of the bus
on the table, which is exactly what's going on. Because here you have, over almost 1.5 million followers, and you're talking about that vegan teacher, and you're talking about veganism. So you're getting the clicks, and even if you're not, a lot of your audience members are. And in fact, many of them came over and said, oh my God, D'Angelo Wallace was a complete idiot. He didn't listen to what you were saying at all. Yeah. Anyway. Let's keep going.
Abandoning them? How is that gonna turn anybody vegan?
Again, you're missing the point. The point is to disrupt.
No, you're missing the point. Vegan teacher. He is not telling you that veganism is bad. Far from it. At the beginning of the video, he said he doesn't have any issue with vegans or veganism. He is telling you what everyone has been yelling at you for years, and that is your method of going about things makes veganism look bad. You are being completely counterproductive. You are hurting veganism. You are not helping it.
Disrupt society, and people will become vegan eventually. Because you see, if you don't have people like me, like that vegan teacher, to stir things up, to make people go, what? What's vegan? And they start asking. I mean, a lot of people didn't even know what veganism was. So they'll at least find out, right?
Is she implying that before she made her YouTube channel, people didn't know what veganism was?
And then they'll hopefully go to these videos that I recommend and that many people in the comment sections were recommending. Understand now?
Are gay people going to heaven?
Gay people are going to hell.
So is it true? Are gay people going to hell? Ah!
First she's...
Okay, where's the video? Why did you not show the video? What? Of course gay people are not going to hell. There's nothing wrong with being gay or any member of the LGBTQ community. You're not hurting anybody. What's wrong is when members of the LGBTQ community hurt animals. Then it's not okay. They should all be vegan, as should you, no matter what your skin color. You should be striving to be vegan, which means simply striving to not hurt animals. It's kind of the least you could do.
He's talking about LGBT and then we're randomly shoved into veganism.
No, it's not random. It's very strategic. It's to tell people, listen, you are members of this oppressed group. You don't like oppression, right? Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, sometimes women who claim that they're oppressed, even men's groups say that they're oppressed. And my job was to say, excuse me, all of you oppressed people, if you think that you're oppressed, then why are you stepping on the necks of animals and murdering them? Metaphorically speaking. But every time you give your money to somebody to hurt them, you are oppressing these poor, innocent animals who never did a single thing wrong to you ever.
I guess she's just going from For You page to For You page, like, knock knock, guess what? You're actually slated for eternal damnation.
No, that was not right. You're misrepresenting and you're actually...
I've seen videos where she said if you want to go to heaven, you have to be vegan. Now, in fairness, she's not particularly religious. Like she's said before, she's not, any particular religion. So I don't necessarily think she actually believes in heaven and hell, but she has explicitly stated before, even just rhetorically, that if you're not vegan, you're going to hell.
Totally wrong. Let's give you...
Alright, again, I'm going to skip through some of this.
Like, how have you not realized you have just lost the message so hard?
How have you lost the message? That's my question.
Is it back in? Hello? Okay. He lost the message because you're a terrible communicator that turns people off from your message. Kirthan says, hell sounds lit, though. All my favorite people are going to be there.
Do you not understand? Do you not have enough brain cells in your... murdering?
That's unfortunate. Alright. I'm done with vegan teacher. At least for now. One sec. Gotta check something. In the meantime, listen to, I don't know. I could have in the time I've been looking for something to put on for a sec, I could have just played the thing.
There's a during World War II, where Roosevelt came up with a thing that was totally different than he called it the World War II. He had the War Production Board.
What?
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
What the?
Why? You're getting nervous, man. Just calm down. It's okay.
Cut the crap.
We're in the middle of a pandemic that had cost us more than 85,000 jobs as of today. Lives of millions of people. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
I'm just gonna get back to the mission now.
Raiden, I found out where he is.
Where?
Inside Arsenal.
What?
Hydrate.
I've checked out all the possibilities, but I keep coming back to Arsenal. It isn't a relay point, it's the origin of the signal. And the encryption protocol it uses is exactly the same as that of Arsenal's AI. The so-called GW. Collect.
Okay. A friend just sent me this, so I gotta share it. It's from some subreddit. I'm not sure what subreddit. It's from the subreddit. No, I actually do know. It's from the subreddit Bewitch the Taliban, which I guess is a subreddit. I don't know if this is serious or not, but it's funny. Here's the post. Do not face Allah alone when astral projecting. Today, while astral projecting, I summoned Allah to try and weaken him so our hexing spells would work better. He's so fucking powerful. I'm not at a power level to do this alone. I barely escaped with my life, and I'm spiritually injured a great amount, but I think I'll make it. I can't imagine what he would do to a new unsuspecting witch. I'm scared that I will have to face him again soon if I ever want to continue astral projecting. I'm currently burning healing incense and drawing spiritual energy from my crystals to try and heal as quickly as possible. Please be safe, everyone. Allah is much stronger than I first imagined, and we will have to do this together if we want to slay a god. What? Sounds like the premise to an anime. We're gonna kill God. What the fuck? I gotta check. Bewitch the Taliban. Let me check this subreddit to see if this is like satire or what. Bewitch. It's a real subreddit. The description reads, there are almost 400 subscribers to Bewitch the Taliban. A group of magical, it's magic with a K, practitioners who have taken up the use of magic, again with a K, for the betterment of Afghanistan, whether by blessing those in need or by hexing of an oppressive regime. What the fuck? Two-Man says, Metal Gear Solid 2 is still my favorite because you fight the former president of the US who is wearing power armor and dual-wielding katanas named Democrat and Republican. I don't play the Metal Gear Solid games. And every time I hear someone say something like that, I go, yeah, I'm glad I don't play the Metal Gear Solid games. Profane Priestess says, I could kill God. I'm sure you could. Let me see what the top posts of all times are. I was astral projecting to spiritually travel to Afghanistan earlier. And it seems like the Taliban gets most of their power from Allah. I could have sworn it was training in weapons from the US military over the, from... Anyway, if we hex Allah, it should affect all of the Taliban. Can we hex Allah? I wouldn't recommend hexing a god. It can't end well. The Taliban follow a misinterpreted Quran. According to Muslim scholars, Allah is not a god of murder and strife, but rather one of peace and love. Allah himself isn't the issue, rather the Taliban themselves are. And then this person says... Oh god, this person says, pretty sure he was a pedophile warlord, so it seems like they're continuing his work. This person is apparently confusing Allah with Muhammad. Yikes. Fucking yikes. Do the Taliban... I could just read this sub all day. This is hilarious. Do the Taliban have witches casting protection and defense spells? Yes, I'm sure the Taliban not only wants to work with women, but they want to work with women who are self-professed witches. I'm sure that would go well. Hey, baby witch here. Have been casting hexes on the Taliban for the past few days, but am now waking with horrible migraines. Is it possible that the Taliban has their own magic special forces division that are firing back at us? Oh, the comments are good too. No, they're fake-ass New Age Karens who can't even craft a simple spell jar. Pathetic. What the fuck? This is... subscribe. That subreddit is Bewitch the Taliban if anyone wants to go and... I would follow sort of lolcow rules on that sub if I were you, which is to say keep hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Look, don't touch. Don't post, don't troll. Just leave it so we can be entertained, okay? Have I watched any witch talk? Is that just like witch TikTok? No, I haven't. I don't do TikTok. Neurotic Nanette says, wait, so migraines are caused by Allah witchcraft? I'm confused. Aren't we all? Make him vanish in a puff of logic. A logic explosion, you might say. Blackwing Hecate says, raid time, folks. Toodles. I don't know what that means. Oh, like you're gonna go do a raid in some MMO? Fun. Have a good time. They may try to hex you next. Honestly, I was cursed by Jesus 10 years ago. That's a funny story. I've told this story before. There's a guy named Stephen Christ on YouTube. He's still on YouTube. He believes that he is the reincarnation of Jesus and Satan. He's both. And he cursed me when we started on YouTube. So I've been under that curse for 10 years, and if Jesus and Satan combined haven't affected me in any way, you know, I don't think these people on Reddit are gonna do it. Trianad says, as a person living in a Muslim-majority country, it's funny and tragic how most people mix up even the basics and add fuel to the fire of phobia. Yeah. Nick says, I meant to make him vanish in a puff of logic. Felix Night Owl says, Allah wove all the masks too, Hannah. That's why they smell like bamboo. No more masks. God cursed me by putting me in the wrong body. Oof. True. True. I've gotten that question before from religious people, like, oh, if you died and you went to heaven, they always assume it's Christian God because they're Christian. But let's say, you know, you die and you go and there's an afterlife and you meet God. What do you say? Honestly, I think I'd be like, really? Really? Why? You dick. Profane Priestess says, the sub thinks we've done more to stop... the sub thinks they've done more to stop the Taliban than the military, which, nah, checks out. I'll give him this. I don't think the witches on Reddit have actively given weapons to the Taliban, which already puts them ahead of the US military. So.
For Soros, sorrow for Soros, for Soros. I saw your plans become porous. Light will shine through, and all
Sorrow for Soros? I thought they didn't believe in dinosaurs. Ha ha ha. Someone says, what is he saying? He's saying sorrow for Soros, but he's trying to make it rhyme better.
They need to be privatized.
Ohio Republican Senate candidate falsely claims the U.S. Postal Service is unconstitutional.
And eliminated it altogether. They've grown every year. The government gives them billions of dollars to continue losing money.
What do you mean lose money? That's the weirdest rhetoric I hear about the post office. It's like they lose X amount of money every year. They don't lose money. They're a service. They're not for profit. What are you talking about? And the funny thing is the post office is actually a government agency that is self-funding. The only reason they ever have funding issues is because Republicans passed a bill that requires them to have pension funds full for employees up to like 70 years in the future. It was basically a way of handicapping them because Republicans really, really, really want to ban the post office so they can get kickbacks from UPS and FedEx and all those companies. It's fucked up. And yes, the Constitution does indeed establish a post office. Oh yeah, do you see True News is feuding with Mike Lindell now? Because he said, I think he shit-talked him or something during a 72-hour thing. Slow Dog says, if they're worried about the post office, wait till they hear about how far in the red the military is.
Mr. Lindell's wild accusations against True News.
His wild accusations against Biden, however, are fine, and True News agrees with those, but not the wild accusations he's made against them.
Are reckless and defamatory. His team is feeding him inaccurate information about us. We are demanding that Mr. Lindell immediately retract his accusations and apologize to True News. This is our last request from Mike Lindell to do the right thing. Admit he made a terrible mistake, retract his defamatory accusations, and publicly apologize to True News. One more thing, Mr. Lindell. Your public apology should come with a $1 million check, a donation to True News, to compensate for the damage you have done to us with your wild, reckless accusations.
Please sue Mike Lindell. If everyone could just sue Mike Lindell for defamation all at once, that'd be amazing. I want that meme where it's the girl on the couch and like the 5 large dudes behind her, or however many. That, but Mike Lindell on the couch. And the people behind are the people suing him. Nothing kills a meme like describing it verbally.
Counterintelligence and the people that were there.
Yeah, he claimed they're Antifa?
They've given me this report, and this will be ready by tonight. Antifa, they on our counterintelligence, Antifa, individuals were working with True News, which is a fake news site established by Media Matters for America. We believe Zachary Patrizio from Salon was involved. We've got them all on tape colluding with masks on.
If his sources of information are so faulty that he accuses True News of being a Media Matters puppet,
funded by Media
Matters, and that we smuggle Antifa terrorists into meetings, if his information is that faulty, then I can't trust anything Mike Lindell says.
Eat each other, eat each other. Dr. White says, David Hannahborough, normally a solitary individual, right-wing dumbfuck Rick Wiles threatens war with another right-wing dumbfuck, Mike Lindell. Jack and Claus with 100 bits says, thoughts on fake vaccine cards? Couple from Florida got caught using them. They're bad. Hot take. People using them should be charged. I don't know what they'd be charged with, but they should be charged with something if they're trying to actually pass them off as real things. Oh god, why is Hassan trending? Oh god. I don't even want to know. Here's my key, guys. Here's my key to how I want to stay on Twitch. Okay? I'm not going to get involved in any left-wing drama, okay? Who the fuck cares? I am here to shit post and chew bubble gum. And I'm out of bubble gum. Nick says, charge the couple with HIPAA violations and make them share a cell with a hippo. Hippo violations. Okay, I don't know what that means.
There is a woman right now that supposedly has been interviewed by tribunal.
Here's another them eating their own thing where I believe a former sex worker who's now grifting QAnon stuff has claimed that Kenneth Copeland, again, these are just allegations she's making, claiming that Kenneth Copeland, along with other pastors, big, evangelical pastors, have been engaged with her in sexual relations and maybe some assault allegations. I don't remember the specifics.
Military.
Trianad says, Hannah, start an ASMR thing or storytelling with that narration voice. It's relaxing. Nick, thanks for gifting a sub to Hippo00100.
Situation that has named names. First of all, I question it because most things that happen under tribunal isn't revealed to civilians. Second, you're not usually allowed to. But when you start implicating certain people that have had the fruit and the character that contradicts what they say, and yet because someone who you don't even know names a name and starts naming names, we start getting on the bandwagon and calling them false. Oh my God, did you know so-and-so is? And we create exactly what the devil wants. It's just enough suspicion on how these trolls work. Get you to be shamed, create suspicion, and tell lies, and people believe it. People always go towards the side of, oh, you're guilty. Now you got to have enough money to prove yourself innocent. Stop doing. Every time I would see people say, well, who did they name? I want to say, first of all, how credible is this person?
Something tells me he has some outstanding allegations out there that are just waiting to drop based on the way he's talking about this.
Maybe they're a witch. Prove to me you're not a witch.
Someone get the ducking stool. We gotta prove someone's not a witch. Nick says, yeah, I heard Telltale talk about this on his channel. It's hilarious how they're reaping what they sow. If not for actual sexual harassment assault, then at least for being bedfellows with QAnoners. And Tucker White says, wait, what's this about a tribunal? Did this sex worker testify before the Hague? Hats off. Okay, I gotta put glasses on or something. Let's go with the horns. We'll do the horns. Mostly because my other hats and stuff are not here right now. They're yet to be moved. So I'm working with a smaller amount of props. Simple Cat Girl says, we can't seem to leave the witch trials, huh? Nope.
Creating a giant. And it's not just about the color of the skin, and you know that. It's about creating a giant melting pot that erodes our values, that erodes our American traditions, and erodes our way of life. They want to create this melting pot and remove any loyalty to our country, loyalty to America. And they know, as well as we know, that it's not going to work. We need that loyalty and oath to America. That sense of nationalism and pride is very important. But pretty soon, again, we're going to be looking around, and white people are going to be the minority here.
So fucking what? Who cares? Stop obsessing about your fucking racial supremacy, you weirdo. No one gives a shit. I'm doing my part. I'm not having any kids. Try an ad says, Hannah, come to Singapore. Chewing gum is illegal. I don't think I will. Oh yeah, here's the guy who did the bomb threat earlier. I think it was in front of the Congressional Library. He threw a bunch of money out the window for some reason. It's all singles, so that's maybe like, you know, $30. I have no idea. I'm bad at... You know how Rain Man, you can throw like 127 matches on the ground and he can immediately tell you how many it is? I'm the opposite. This could be 12. This could be... I know it's more than 12. This could be 24. This could be 60. I have no way of knowing without actually counting. So this was the guy that was threatening to blow up 2 city blocks. Deranged MAGA supporter who live-streamed Capitol bomb threat is taken into custody. The man identified himself in the live-stream videos and on Facebook as a Trump supporter who believed Democrats must step down. Wow, it's almost like all this conspiracy theory bullshit is radicalizing mentally unstable people and committing violent acts against innocent people. Weird. Oh, it's the joke. Fun.
There's zero evidence that COVID-19 exists in the world.
Oh. How did humanity get this far? How are we alive? It doesn't make sense.
PCR tests are recalled. This is a plain...
I think Baja was talking to me about this a while back. One company's specific PCR tests were recalled because they were faulty. That one company's, not all PCR tests. PCR tests are fine. That company had a manufacturing issue or something. Scintilla says, I think it was Grossar, is that his name, who would respond with talking socialism and practically excusing the guy's actions in real time. Gross.
Pandemic. Fake virus. Bioweapon jab. Fake president.
Oh, this lady must be fun at parties.
You will not experiment on my children. It's always been about the children. We know you're coming for the children. We will not comply. We will answer to God. People are waking up. Nothing can stop what is coming. You vote yes, you will all be tried for crimes against humanity. Children don't disappear. 800,000 children in the United States disappear. Where do they go?
The vast majority of them are found, you idiot! I hate that statistic that QAnon people throw around. 800,000 children disappear, and the vast majority are taken by one of their parents or other family members against the will of the other parent. And then they're found. 800,000 children do not permanently disappear. Most of them are taken in custody disputes.
Human trafficking is the real pandemic.
Human trafficking is bad. Human trafficking is bad. So why don't you actually give money to an organization that helps that instead of this? Because this isn't helping human trafficking. It helps in making you look like a dumbass.
Mainstream media doesn't cover it. There's no virus. The media is the virus. The politicians, Hollywood, are all involved. Please vote no today. I'm begging you. I want you to think real hard.
The segments in Parks and Rec with the stupid citizens giving their input seem almost cute by comparison to real world today, doesn't it? Like there are people there who are like, I ate a sandwich at one of your parks that I found on the ground and got sick, when in reality it's people being like, you are Satanists who are fucking children. I will murder you, you know? Futsible, thanks for 5 months, says, figured out I'm some flavor of Ace this week, and I just want to thank you and the community for a comfortable place to do so. Love you all, but Hannah most, because she really needs this. Just let her have it. Thanks. Dr. White says, wait, fucking trophies don't disappear, yet 800,000 of them disappear? Ooh. Neurotic Nanette says, it's always you're not prepared for what is coming with these people. It's like they're ads for really shitty DLC. Yeah, it's because their entire hope is, you know. TikToker filmed a fake phone call with Trump while calling him T-Daddy.
Hi, President Trump. Okay, I'm not going to panic. I'm just going to pretend like you're a normal person. I'm not going to scream. Hi, so, T-Daddy, when are you coming back to the White House?
Is this Peter's wife?
Yeah, that's just what we call you. Oh, soon? Okay, let me write this down because I have to tell the American people. Okay, you'll be back soon. The storm is upon us. You're still in charge, but you're letting Biden F up so people can see the truth. Oh, that makes...
I think if Peter saw this video, he'd fall in love immediately and leave his family. Tucker White says, also Hollywood suffered massive losses from this pandemic thanks to theaters shutting down, so how and why would Hollywood be in on this? Puka the Duca with 100 bits becomes a stream boss. Thank you.
Sense. All right. Okay, so... Okay, tell the American people we got to keep fighting every day. Yep, okay. Perfect. They are so going to appreciate this. You have a great day. Oh, thank you. Bless your heart.
Austin Rosenberg says, I was going to say gender swap. Yeah, again, the right just taking the side of the Taliban. Weird. Here's a post from Great Awakening. Says, wife of 31 years told me I need to move out of the house since I won't take the jab. It all started with a staged intervention last weekend at a cookout we were having at the house for family members. The wife, daughter, and a group of in-laws cornered me and told me I was being selfish. I was jeopardizing their safety. The nagging and attitude had been going on for months prior. Ew. Attitude? Don't describe your wife like that. I once again explained my position, but no amount of evidence or logic offered up was going to change any minds. My entire immediate and extended family had bought the narrative and drank the Kool-Aid utterly and completely. You're posting on Great Awakening, my guy. There's no convincing anyone otherwise. Today the wife informs me that she wants me to move out of the house that I worked my ass off for decades to provide because I don't care enough about her to take the vax. It's a sad day, but I'm not wavering. I'm packing my shit and seeking alternative living arrangements. I did inform every one of them not to call me when their health starts to go south in the near future, which was met with rolled eyes and ambivalent shrugs. They all think I've gone bananas. They're correct. Wow. Glad he actually left. Honestly, she should divorce. I guess I don't know what state this is, so it might just be no-fault divorce state. But, like, I honestly think courts should start taking into consideration, like, my spouse has become a crazy conspiracy theorist and gone insane in terms of splitting assets and making sure that people can leave. Nick says, come on, hype. Oh, yeah, we have 30 seconds to get on a hype train, I guess. It's really easy for me to boycott Coca-Cola and every other leftist, Marxist, fascist corporation What the fuck? Futsible, thanks for gifting a sub. Jack and Claus says, hype it up with 100 bits and starts the hype train. I know, spam is the lowest form of trolling. Like, trolls can be entertaining, but, like, if you're gonna do it, have something to say. If you just, like, copy-paste stuff, what are you doing? Diamond Dynamo, thanks for 5 months, says, I guess Prime subs don't count. Princess Amelia with 30 bits says, boo. Jamie Lynn says, take my bits for hot train and keep up the good work, and if you could call me a good girl. Please don't ask me to do that. Steve with the Q says, Marxist Corporation. The dishwasher is fantastic. I'm glad. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. Zero M80 says, for the hype. Scintilla with 70 bits. Thanks. Jack and Claus, thanks for gifting a sub. Slow Dog, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Simple Cat Girl with 100 says for the video. Let me see. What video? Tucker White says poo with 100 bits. Sweet Bunny Mommy with 200 bits. Thank you. Nick Fuentes taking the side of the Taliban. Surprise. Oh, this lady's the worst. Have you seen this? Sorry. Sorry, I gotta get into my entitled white lady voice. Sorry, not going to care about Afghanistan because I grew up with an alcoholic, psychologically abusive father in a constant state of distress, anxiety, and worry about the future. Hearing the key in my door every evening was my own Afghanistan for almost 20 years. Look, I'm sorry if this woman genuinely went through trauma, but what the fuck? Don't one-up an entire country. Don't try and one-up an entire country being taken over by religious extremists and women losing, like, all their rights. That's so fucked. So fucked. I read it earlier this weekend. Moppy Mutton says, list of words you don't know the meaning of. What? Nick says, at least you can write on Twitter and get a job and go to school, etc., you fucking idiot, right? The lady that lives here, thanks for 100 bits. Yeah, guys, God, I hate how dumb the right is. Flu cases went down because of social distancing, quarantining, or stay-in-place orders and masks. 32% to level 4. Stop referring to me as unvaccinated. I prefer the term based. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, this is the guy that cried after the election results were called. He reminds me of, like, a John Doyle type. Moonrail, thanks for 100 bits.
It's not. Don't kid yourself into believing that's why we lost. It's not. It's not.
You're wrong.
I'll tell you openly.
You're wrong.
And I'm not wrong.
Yes, you are. I have plenty of proof. I have proof in Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Georgia.
You did the Maricopa.
Yeah.
How did that turn out?
And guess what? It's going to turn out, and it's going to flip.
Okay.
You watch. You're going to see firsthand.
It won't. And you've got to flip all 5 states to make it.
You know how they're stealing the elections?
All right. I'm not going to argue this. I'm not going to argue this. It's just something. Look, I'll say it openly. This is something you got to accept. Is there a lot of voters?
He is right.
Probably is. Not that Trump won. No, absolutely not.
You'll see.
Absolutely not. 5 different states.
Yes.
Hundreds of thousands of votes.
Yes.
You're kidding yourself.
Next question.
Jesus, these people are fucking delusional. How bad do you have to be that Dan Crenshaw is the guy that has to be like, no, you're delusional. Futsible, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Cinty Law, thanks for gifting a sub. Nick with 30 bits says Dan Crenshaw is the Dread Pirate dumbass. 36% to level 5. 51% to level 5. Oh yeah, did you see Chet Hanks was a big piece of shit?
Hey guys.
Chet Hanks, yes, Tom Hanks' kid.
So, just checking in. Look, I've been kind of on the fence about this for a while. That's why I've never spoke on it. But with the amount of people that I know recently that have gotten COVID, and with like the numbers rising, I think it's important for me to say, like, I got the vaccine. I think everybody should. I think it's really important, like, that we all do this just as like citizens, as Americans. We have to look out for each other and get this shit under control, guys. So, like, I suggest to all my followers, you guys
Wait, did he do the opposite? Was he previously anti-vax? Is that what I saw?
an appointment and get the vaccine first thing. Science!
No, okay. This was it. Okay.
Bitch! If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I never had COVID. You ain't sticking me with that motherfucking needle. It's the motherfucking flu. Get over it, okay? If you're sick, stay inside. I'm tired of having, okay? Why we working around y'all? If you're in danger, stay your ass inside.
Tom must be so goddamn disappointed in his kid. Do you think he gave him a call? Or he typed him a nice message on one of his typewriters because Tom Hanks collects typewriters? Like, son, I'm very disappointed. Stop being an idiot. Sincerely, Tom Hanks. Yeah, I think Tom Hanks did get COVID early on in the pandemic. Garo the Khajiit says he needs to switch to decaf cocaine. Oh yeah, did you guys see that? Steven Crowder was promoting himself using footage from his surgery. Felix Night Owl says, have you seen the Chud memes where they're mad that gun control doesn't allow them to have all the guns they want, but think Biden gave the Taliban an entire arsenal? No. Profane Preacher says, it's a shame because Tom Hanks is genuinely a pretty great guy from all I know. And Jamie Lynn says, I'm not trying to be a weird fangirl of yours, I just really like your stream and I think you're cool, so if I do something cringe once in a while, please forgive me. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. 60% to level 5, we're almost done. It's the same joke. Why do they always do the same joke? Oh god, yeah, did you see that? Tucker Carlson covered the Chris Chan thing. Ooh.
Be shaken.
And
when
am.
someone doesn't speak English and we can't communicate in Los Angeles, guess what happens? Honest. People die. People go bye-bye.
He's like walking up on us and stuff.
He actually's gotten to my face.
Now
quite
you're
a few
gonna
times.
lie?
I have it on camera.
That lady that lives here says we're almost there, people.
Let's just...
Are you police? Are you military? I'm retired fire police officer.
Sir, can I have you go?
Oh wow, the ex-cop is a racist piece of shit. Surprised Pikachu face. Bardlock Moses with 1,000 bits, 96% of the hype train. Nick with 100 bits brings us to 100%. Wow, 2 level 5 hype trains in one day. Thank you. We haven't done that in a long time.
You'll have you arrested. This is the Senate side. Seriously? Hey, over here, there's no COVID. You won't be arrested. Hey, over here, there's no COVID. You won't be arrested. You're going to take the mask off. Would you like to come in? Okay, that's the House side where Nancy Pelosi will have you arrested. This is the Senate side. Seriously?
Nick says with 100 bits, mine. I assume becomes the stream boss. Mr. X8 with 50 bits. Jack and Claus with 100. Thank you. Mike Max says anti-masker. Refuse to wear mask. Me. Will that include oxygen mask? Like, Marjorie, the reason the Senate apparently doesn't have some sort of mask rule is probably because Republicans voted against it because they're pieces of shit and maybe 1 or 2 shitty Democrats. Yeah, you guys saw the Trump card, right? The official Trump, like, membership card that looks exactly like the Nazi eagle. Okay, let's see.
That's the wind. That's the wind of time. That's the wind of history. That's the wind blowing through your ancestors' bones, begging you to do the right thing.
Oh, God.
That is the wind that Matt Baker is calling upon from Ocean Beach. The wind that is blowing through the black people, through the white people, through the Chinese people, through the Mexican Americans, to the people that built this building with their bare hands to raise up this nation. They are begging you, and they are blowing through your veins, and they should be putting a tingle up the spine of your back, and they should be begging you to do the right thing. You're about to open a pit of hell. You do not get a vaccine passport put on us. You know, as the population who's in control, you know that the people who are the politicians, once you get a power, you will never relinquish it. Do you think that the 4 feet of marble that holds you above high in this chamber will help you from the fate of humanity which you are unleashing? No! It won't! Your children and your children's children will be subjugated! They will be asked, how many vaccines have you had? Have you been a good little...
I fucking hate humans. I hate all of us. We're terrible. And civilization was a mistake. Tucker White says, who let the hippie have the mic? Slow Dog says, favorite new wrestler right here.
Fauci! Hail Fauci! Hail Fauci! Hail Fauci! Hail Fauci! There's been a lot of talk about the Nuremberg. You doctor will finish it! Passport is coercion!
Holy fuck, what a nutbag.
Bella, I'm gonna give you your vegan food now with a bit of water, and then I gotta go out, okay? I know you want to come with me, but you can't. I'm just gonna be going to McDonald's and doing some filming there. Right, here you go. I'll see you soon, all right? Love you. Before we begin, tap the subscribe button, and then you'll see a bell. Tap that too. Thank you so much to everybody who's here with me. Thank you for supporting this channel. Hello, students. I'm here on the island of Montreal in the city of
I
LaSalle.
thought I was a lizard. It's a Doctor Who movie situation. I'm half lizard person. I'm half human. Tucker White says, hail poaching. Okay, that hippie was a troll. He said, hail Fauci. He was making a Nazi comparison. Bellum Guardian says, I misheard when she said Bella and thought she said Bellum and nearly had a stroke.
I'm here to
Princess Amelia says, I know you want to come with me. No, lady, I want meat.
remind you never to go to this place, McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't care about animals whatsoever.
True?
All they care about is profits.
Yeah, they're a corporation.
All they want to do is sell you anything. They don't care what it is. They don't care how much the animals have suffered. These
Probably
restaurants should all be vegan, 100% going forward.
And they would go bankrupt immediately.
Every time you walk up to them, if you are inside, you should say to them, what is your vegan option here? Tell me about your vegan options. When are you going to get rid of the dead animals that you sell here? That is your responsibility as a good citizen.
Yeah, I'm sure harassing the minimum wage employees is gonna do something. That sounds good.
to make sure that these companies change. Remind them that they should not have any milk products in their restaurants. Only non-dairy products, just such as soy milk and oat milk. All the burgers in these places should be vegan. No more dead bodies. Vegan sausages, not pigs that died at 6 months old. If we want to end the animal holocaust that's going on right now, we all have our part in it. We cannot wait for somebody...
Okay, well, I don't feel like it. Let's try and watch some of this, and then I'm probably going to call it a night. Heels vs. Babyface is upset about the first episode of Marvel's What If show because, I guess I should explain, I'm not going to explain the MCU if you haven't seen it. Just know they're superheroes. So Marvel's What If you're not familiar, based on the comic book series of the same name. Marvel has this series called What If, where it basically takes stories you know and characters you know from the Marvel Universe and says, what if this event happened differently? Or what if this other thing happened? So examples could be... Let me show you some covers. What if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four? What if Captain America had led an army of super soldiers in World War II? What if Cosmic Avengers battled the Guardians of the Galaxy? What if Rick Jones had become the Hulk? What if the next generation... This one is just from What If. The later series didn't necessarily exactly phrase it like that. What if Magneto took over the USA? I gotta find my personal favorite one, because it's hilarious. What if Spider-Man had never become a crime fighter? That one's pretty interesting. What if Captain America had formed the Avengers? What if... Come on, where is it? What if Spider-Man had 6 arms? Zathura says, loving your hair. Thank you. 74Quinn74 with 3 months says, hungry AF and trying to figure out what to order on my new stupid diet. I wish you luck. Nick says, if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four, then maybe they'd have a decent movie for once. Don't spiders have 8, though? Yeah, Spider-Man typically doesn't, though. Oh, okay, I gotta find the one that I find the most interesting. What if Captain America hadn't vanished during World War II? Where is it? It's just the funniest cover. Some of these actually became canon later, too. What if Jane Foster had found the Hammer of Thor? That later became canon. Not that specific story, but they've taken ideas before and adapted them. Come on, where's the cover? I don't want to spoil it. Okay, I'll just do it. What if... This is the best cover of all time for What If. What if the X-Men had died on their first mission? And it's just Professor X crying at their grave and saying, the X-Men are dead and I killed them! I find this one hilarious because it's like, yeah, you sent teenagers to fight supervillains. What did you think was going to happen, you dumb asshole? Mike Backs with a link. What if Black Panther were actually white? Oh no. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in. Hello, so much for the mighty monolith. Avengers, you better... God, the text is really small for me. You bet, Cap. I'd say this calls for a toast. You say everything calls for a toast, Shellhead. I'm with Iron Man. I've heard a cold one, and then he pulls off his mask and he's white and everyone's surprised. Jeez. Anyway, so you get it. What If is basically just an opportunity for Marvel to make comics that are not canon and just have fun out-of-universe stories, right? So, Disney has now adapted What If into a animated TV show, and the first episode came out. I think the second actually came out too, but I haven't seen that one yet. So the first episode is what if Peggy Carter had become Captain America? Peggy Carter being the love interest of Captain America, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, among other things. So it's just what if she became a super soldier instead of Captain America? And Chuds are losing their minds. So let's see what this guy has to say. Hey, if Adora can manage against Hordax, Professor X should have been able to manage with what he had. Doomman says, my favorite is what if Spider-Man was the Punisher? Oh yeah, he has like gun web shooters. I remember that.
Hot dog.
I need some visuals for this. So basically, Chuds are like, OMG, Captain Carter looks like a man because she's muscular. And her suit has broad shoulders. So they've decided that this is woke because she's strong. Now let me remind you, if you're not familiar with the MCU, Captain America, before he got his super soldier serum, looked like this on the right, and then after the serum, he became this on the left. So it is canon within the MCU that the super soldier serum increases your muscle mass. It makes you big and strong, okay? But they're mad because Captain Carter doesn't make their pee-pee hard or something.
Hi everyone, Az here from Heel vs. Babyface. Sorry, I was christening the new microphone. Yeah, I've gone Hollywood with it. I've gone for a Shure, like everyone else seems to be going with. I got the cloud lifter. I got the static taken care of. I got so much gain. If I want it, I can just explode in your ears. That didn't come out quite how I wanted it. Anywho, let's move on and talk about Marvel's What If, which started today on Disney Plus. What if we just race changed, gender changed, sexuality changed our Marvel characters?
A very regular trope of the What If comics was what if a different person had become that character. I already showed you the Jane Foster one, but there's one where it's what if Flash Thompson had become Spider-Man. There's tons of these. What if blank becomes blank? You get it. What if Rick Jones had become the Hulk? There are multiple ones like this. The point I'm trying to make is acting like this is somehow like some woke agenda is really, really stupid. And all it does is illustrate that you have absolutely no fucking idea what you're talking about, and you don't know anything about the source material. And I'm not even saying you need to know about the source material. They're fucking comic books. I don't expect everyone to know that. But, like, if you're gonna talk about it and bitch about it, you should at least know enough to not come off like an idiot. Like, what if General Ross had become the Hulk? Here's one. Like, this is not new. What if Peter Parker became the Punisher?
Won't that be so much fun? And we started off with the Captain Carter, aka how to be a feminist in 2021 while using 1940s World War II sensibilities to try and play victim while also having no tits.
She has boobs. They're right there. Even if she didn't, by the way, it's not a porno. But she does have boobs. Tucker White says, what if Rick James became the Hulk? Well, that's a fucking interesting idea for the Hulk. Wait, did I say Rick James instead of Rick Jones? Nick says, why do these morons only care about tits? They're literal babies. I know, right?
Okay, right. I've got this on the screen to begin with because, yes, it's crass, but it's not exactly wrong. Studios, be like, how can we make strong, realistic female character? You literally just take a woman's head and put it on a man.
No? Again, she's muscular, she's strong, but if you look up, like, women bodybuilders, like, he understands that women are physically capable of becoming really strong, right? Not even bodybuilders, because that's more like aesthetic. Women weightlifters. Like, women also get strong, my friend. I don't know what to tell you.
And
Princess Amelia says, but if boobs aren't massive and the outfit vacuum formed to them, how am I supposed to know if they even exist?
And that seems to really be the case right now. They actually did it in Black Widow, remember, with Taskmaster. The Taskmaster that we saw with the helmet on, doing all the flippity flips and stuff, had a cock and balls. Because it was a man. And then they CGI'd. They CGI'd the woman's head onto the man's body for the reveal. The reveal, oh my god, Marvel have put another woman into a man's role, which they do constantly, and it's absolutely not a surprise anymore because we've seen this so often with them that it's actually now really, really boring.
Captain Carter, which is a what-if story anyway. Taskmaster. I'm trying to think of literally another Marvel character they've done that with. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, I'm just trying to think about it. He's acting like it's constant. Simple Cat Girl says, Taskmaster is also wearing armor, you fucking idiot, right? Ratcatcher's DC. And that's Ratcatcher 2, which is different than Ratcatcher 1, which is her father. That's Suicide Squad. That's DC. No one? Does anyone have any other... Like, I know in the upcoming Eternals, one of the youngest Eternal, I believe in the original comics, was a boy and now is a girl. Ghost? Okay, Ghost, who I'm not very familiar with, apparently. Ghost, the Ancient One. Captain Carter. I already forgot what the other one was. Marvel. Okay, there are some. But none of these are, like, characters that matter. And I also don't see the issue. Who cares?
I mean, oh, wow!
Two Man says, these guys are going to flip their shit when they see how jacked She-Hulk is.
Here's a snippet from the actual show itself of Peggy coming out of the machine after she's been roided up.
Yeah, she literally just got the super soldier serum that turned Chris Evans' scrawny CG body into hunky, actual muscular Chris Evans. That's what the serum does. Like, that's what it does?
Man's body, pretty flat chest. Remember, this is this goes over a bra, what she's wearing. So there's nothing there.
She's clearly not wearing a bra with that, you idiot. What do you mean it goes over a bra? Okay, not in this. What the fuck? For one thing, she still has tits. You can see she has tits. And I can't believe I'm even talking about this, because who the fuck cares? But, like, this goes over a bra. It doesn't look like she's wearing a bra. Or if she is, it's a strapless bra that isn't giving much support. Does he know how bras work? Jamie Lynn says, could the super soldier guy be any hotter? Really melts my heart. Yeah, she looks like a muscular woman with broad shoulders.
This is the beautiful Hayley Atwell who plays Peggy Carter.
This is so gross. I'm sure she would appreciate your disgusting... Oi, mate, where's your titties? Let me talk for 10 minutes about how much I want to see your fucking tits. I'm sure she'd really appreciate your disgusting middle-aged ass ogling her on fucking YouTube, you gross piece of shit.
She's gorgeous, beautiful, petite, only 1.69 meters.
Yeah, and Steve looked like this. And then he grew like 1.5 feet and got fucking abs. It's literally how it works.
Woman
in canon.
And has a very curvaceous body. Because I know this is going to confuse the shit out of so many people. That's what women have.
Oh god, this is so fucking embarrassing. I genuinely don't understand the kind of person who watches a show like that. And you don't have to like Marvel stuff or What If, by the way. The first episode of What If I enjoyed because I really like What If stories, both the comics and just the concept in general of what if we changed this thing. But there were issues with the first episode. Some of the voice acting was iffy. Sebastian Stan, interestingly, even though he's reprising his role as Bucky Barnes, not a good voice actor, and that really showed. I thought they really hammered home the military doesn't respect her because she's a woman, which I also found interesting considering within the canon of the MCU, she was already a well-respected agent working with the precursor to S.H.I.E.L.D., the Strategic Science Division or whatever it was called before it became S.H.I.E.L.D. But I get it, they want to put that conflict in there, but it felt a little different than how she was treated in, like, Captain America: The First Avenger. She was a respected military person. But whatever, it's fine. It's part of the show. And also, I just felt like a lot of the plot points were just, like, Captain America again, but, like, with her. You know, I felt like it could have been changed a little bit more. But overall, I liked the first episode. And you can talk and critique about the episode, and that's completely fine and reasonable. And you can even talk about character design, honestly, if that's something you don't like. But that's not what this is. This is a gross middle-aged man sitting in his room full of Batman posters, complaining that a cartoon character didn't have big enough titties to make his dick hard. Like, my guy, what are you doing with your life? I don't understand.
Women can really have that because they're feminine. That's why we have the masculine and the feminine. I know there's a lot of people who want to change that in current day, but they're called nutcases and mentalists. So yeah, we have this beautiful specimen of womanhood, and Hayley Atwell is absolutely beautiful. And then we have
the funny thing, like, does he not understand that if she saw this video, she would think he's fucking disgusting? He knows he's not complimenting her, right? I mean, he thinks he is. But, like, does he know this isn't complimentary? It's just, like, weirdly sexualizing and ogling her in a way that I guarantee she wouldn't want? Like, what are you doing?
Have their man. We have their legitimate man. Now, I can hear some people going, oh, well, that's just...
Thank you.
Objectification as. That's all that is. You're just objectifying the character of Hayley Atwell, you disgusting male pig. Okay.
It's not about your gender. If you were a woman saying the same stuff, it would still be gross. Why are you being gross about this? You're not...
Okay. Okay, well, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's get rid of me. You don't need to see me for this. This is Captain America from 2011.
Yeah, he became strong. He became muscular and got taller, and his shoulders got broader, and he became strong, which is the same thing. I'm guessing his argument here is some women want to fuck Chris Evans, therefore all men should want to fuck Captain Carter? Even though this directly goes against what he wants, considering it shows that the formula makes you stronger? I don't get it. He's just jealous that he isn't buff.
The film, Captain America.
That's the funny thing, too. If he thinks that, like, masculinity is like this, like, oh, he became ideal masculinity, and he's criticizing Captain Carter for not being feminine enough, what does that say about him? He doesn't look like this. I'm not even saying he should. I'm just saying, do you not see the issue? Futzable says, one of the panelists on The Escapist brought up Captain Carter's broad shoulders and thick thighs during a gym scene, and she said, I have never felt more seen in my entire life. It's almost as if representation is important. Genghis Khan, thanks for 100 bits, and Profane Priestess says, my guy, women warriors are pretty normal. Just look into Viking shield maidens. Also, see you later, Hannah. Gonna go watch Critical Role's Elder Scrolls one-shot, sending parasocial love. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's good.
First Avenger. Steve Rogers has just come out of the machine himself, roided up. Yeah, he's roided up as well. Peggy Carter is absolutely frothing at the mouth. She's just like, come to mama's titty bags. Her eyes, let's just get a track. Oh!
Freiserburn says, it's like this guy has never seen a women's bodybuilding competition or something. Simple Cat Girl says, guys like this really need to be beat over that people come in all sizes, including women. Women can look hella masculine and still be a woman, right?
Oh, she looking at them titty bags of Captain Rogers.
Yeah? She's attracted to him, which actually is interesting too, considering we see in the What If episode that even if he had remained the small, scrawny, sickly guy, she still is attracted to him. But yeah, Chris Evans is an attractive guy. It just so happens that our idea of what is traditionally attractive in men is this muscular, broad-shouldered person, which the formula turns you into, and he is a male, he's a man, so he fits into that stereotype, but the formula does the same thing to her, and you're mad about it? I don't...
Oh, as you're reading way too much into it. Okay, let's,
No, that scene is clearly a comedy. She thinks he's hot scene. I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
Let's just turn the sound off, but let's just play what happens next.
Yeah, it's not a... That's a good way to put it. Diamond Dynamo says, it's not a make you hot formula. Yup, it's not. It's a make you strong and a super soldier formula. It's the super soldier formula, not the super waifu formula.
Shall we?
It is. It's basically super steroids. Yep. It's permanent super steroids.
Oh, gotta go for a touch. Gotta go for a touch. Oh my God, look at that hunk of beef. Oh, I need to touch that hunk of beef. Am I crying objectification? No. No. If I was to try and pretend to be offended by that.
What do you... This is the funny thing, too. Does he think that there... I think... And I posted about this on Twitter. I think I made a joke something along the lines of Captain Carter beating the shit out of Nazis is my new kink or something. I don't remember the exact joke, but other people were saying the same thing. I think I retweeted someone, in fact, that said that and just added on to it. I don't know. People find her attractive as Captain Carter. You not finding someone attractive doesn't mean no one finds them attractive. What kind of weird solipsistic world do you live in? You can find Captain Carter hot. No one is saying you can't look at a fictional character and be like, I think they are attractive. You can. You just don't happen to find her to be that, and that's also fine. Simple Cat Girl says, even if Steve stayed lean, I think Peggy would like him. You don't need to sexually attracted to everything on a person to love someone. Yeah, the What If episode goes into that. She's still into him, even though he, is scrawnier him. Lily Love Stuff says, when we talk about the actor who plays Captain America, we use his full name, Christopher Jamal Evans, in my household.
It would be pathetic. What do I think of that? I think that's...
I missed beats. Okie dokie. Basically, Cap cheated in a way. I mean, I guess. It's World War II. It's not Monopoly, okay? Ugh. Good night, Variegated. Thanks for coming.
Funny. I think that's a funny bit in the film, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's a little funny. It's a little eye-rolling to me just because it feels cliche, but it's fine.
She's seen this scrawny little guy who she really likes. Who she really still likes and is taken to. But now, this scrawny little guy that she likes is one big hunk of beef. A mama-like. Mama-like. As you've been...
This guy's really gross.
Speaking for 5 minutes, 6 minutes about that and not the film. Well, I mean, I just want to have one more image here. This is Freckle Jesus. Also known as one of the super soldiers from Falcon, Black Captain Falcon Black, Black Falcon Winter Black Soldier Black.
Wow. Okay, wow. That's a fucking yikes.
Which was on Disney Plus recently, Black. And, not exactly what I would call roided up to the...
Yeah, she didn't have the original super soldier serum. She had a bootleg version that got made by the US government long after the fact. Also didn't have the Vita Rays. If you want to get into some stupid canon thing about this, we can do it. That's fine. But I'll win, because I actually read the comics, and I actually give a shit about the media beyond what I can jack off to. So, like, we could do this all day. Oh, that's a line from...
To the eyeballs.
Yeah, they mentioned in the show they made a change in the serum so it doesn't make you buff. Yes, they did.
No? Okay, but as it's a different serum now, it doesn't affect them. What? It doesn't affect exactly what the super serum was meant to do, which is affect muscle growth. And, okay, whatever. Sure. Whatever you say. Let's just get back to this, shall we? Hey, let's just have a look at Haley Atwell when we do this. So I watched the first I watched this episode of What If, the Captain Carter, and was it horrific? Was it horrible? Why have I spent 6 minutes talking about the defeminization of women? Look, this wasn't horrible. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't horrible. In some places it was, and in some places it wasn't. You see, when the What If just wanted to be an entertaining piece of entertainment. Wow, I thought that one through well, didn't I? When it just wanted to be entertaining, it was. It truly was. The dynamic and relationship between Steve and Peggy, I really thought was going to be bastardized. But no, I was actually surprised to see that the
voice actor they got to play Steve Rogers was really great, by the way. He sounds just like Chris Evans. Maybe not exactly, but he's like 95% of the way there. I bought in. I believed that sounded like Steve Rogers.
The love that they have for each other is reciprocated both ways. Peggy is really into Steve, even though he's still the scrawny Steve in this.
Mike Mack says, Spider-Man in the comics is stronger than Cap, and he isn't muscular as him. It's almost like super strength doesn't mean muscle all of the time. It just completely depends. It depends on basically what the character designer wants it to look like.
And Steve is really into her,
And this is what I don't get either. We talked about this earlier. People come in all different shapes and sizes. Like, I was going to make a mean joke about the guy, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make fun of looks. Okay. So let's say, female Marvel superheroes. Let's take a look at what are currently the MCU superheroes that are women. So we have Black Widow, played by Scarlett Johansson. I'm not going to go names because I don't know the name. Okay, I'll just say. I don't know the name of the woman who plays Valkyrie. So, no, Tessa Thompson? Okay, I think I know. Scarlett Johansson, Brie Larson, Tessa Thompson, and Zoe Saldana. I like these characters, but they're all... Even though even though 3 of the 4 of them have super strength, they're conventionally attractive women with a feminine figure, right? So out of the current MCU women superheroes, all of them look like basically models. And of course there's Gal Gadot, even though she's... Or Gadot, sorry. Even though she's DC. You get the idea. But all of a sudden, for whatever reason, design reasons, character reasons, they decide to make Peggy Carter's Captain Carter muscular with broader shoulders. And they lose their fucking minds. Because they think women have to be this specific cookie cutter thing. And if they're not, it's unacceptable and it's SJW garbage. It's ridiculous. Tube Man says the guy who played Steven What If is the guy who played Spider-Man in the Spectacular Spider-Man show. Oh, cool. Like, does he not understand that he's already being catered to? You are being catered to with every other lady superhero, but this one isn't. It's the scene from Harry Potter where Dudley gets like 27 birthday presents and they're like, but there were 28 last year. It's like literally every other lady superhero looks how you want them to look. What are you doing?
Of whether or not she...
Guar Stoneskin, thanks for 15 months.
She was as she was...
What will happen when She-Hulk comes out? I'm sure they're gonna freak out.
Before or now, the Super Soldier version, the Hulk Smash version of Peggy Carter that we see for the rest of the episode. And that relationship felt real, and it felt, it felt, I don't know, it just felt like they had some respect for it, I guess. But there were some insane moments where they just can't help themselves nowadays as regards to trying to play victim, trying to paint white women as victims when the most privileged class on the planet. Yes.
Okay. Realistically, heels versus babyface, as realistically as we can get in a Marvel universe. Because this is World War II, the Marvel universe, at least in, the ground human level, is basically the same as the real world up until World War II. Yes, I know about Asgard and all that shit. It's not what we're talking about. I'm saying that the military and society that exists in Captain America, the First Avenger, is supposed to mirror. If a woman in the 1940s in America, and I know she's English, but this happened in America, in the show, gained superpowers and became America's super soldier, you don't think anyone would have an issue with that at all? You think no one would be like, I'm sexist because it's the 40s? Come on.
She goes through multiple phases of people going, you can't do that, you're a woman. You can't do that, you're a
I do think they actually overplayed that, because I think after once or twice you get it. You're like, yeah, we get it. That's the arc, is that she's gaining respect, and we understand. I think it was a little... How do I want to put this? It wasn't subtle the way they did it, and you don't always have to be subtle, but in this case I thought it was a little too, on the nose. I'm not against the message, but the delivery was a little alright, we understand.
Dame, I can't believe Dames did.
Lord Cuckbucket said, this guy's gonna lose it again with What If Episode 2. How dare they replace White Star-Lord with T'Challa, and how dare he turn bad guys good? Don't spoil me, please. I haven't seen it. I think Marvel is trolling Chuds and bless them for it.
Do this? Why is a woman...
It's the 20s, though? It's the 40s. It's World War II. World War II happened in the 30s and 40s.
Doing this. And I can already hear the people going, but as this is the 1940s.
Yes.
That's what it...
Don't you love when Chuds, their only, like, their go-to is to say a thing that's true, but with a silly voice, and they think that's an argument? That's fun.
Would have been like for women. I agree.
So what's the issue?
I agree. If this situation was legit and in the 40s, there would certainly be a lot of sexist blowback from people. However, when Peggy Carter talks about, oh, I feel for the first time in my life I have a voice, that I am actually being listened to, that I'm not being ignored, that I'm not a second-class citizen, you know that they're not talking about that from a 1940s perspective.
It's the 40s in the show. It's the 40s, yes they are. And do you think there aren't still issues where women in places of authority aren't taken as seriously as men? Because that's still a thing.
They're talking about that from a current day perspective, trying to paint victimhood.
Oh yeah, I forgot how World War II happened in the 2020s. My bad.
Trying to paint patriarchy, and it comes across as pathetic.
So, we can't talk about sexism today because you think it's cringe, but we also can't talk about sexism in the past because you think it means we're talking about sexism today, which again you think is cringe. So we just can't talk about sexism ever existing now or in the past. It's just moratorium on all discussions of sexism. That's reasonable.
Pathetic. It really, really does. So there was some fine bits. It's only 30 minutes long, so the show does have to go at a pretty hefty pace, and it's trying to mirror the beats of Captain America, the First Avenger, in a quarter of the time.
Mike Mack says this is basically gender or critical gender theory for him.
So certainly stuff is rushed. They switch out Bucky is saved this time by Peggy Carter.
Spoilers.
Now, you could read Peggy saved Bucky, but Steve couldn't.
She's the superhero! What? It's a what? It's a what if? It's a what if story! The entire premise of the show is butterfly effect. If this thing changes, what else changes? What the fucking fuck? Colston says, just imagine if 12 Years a Slave came out today, people would lose their minds. I mean, didn't it just come out like 5 years ago?
Okay, you could, you might not. I'm going to be generous and just say no.
And in the same scene, she loses someone else. Yeah, spoilers, I guess, for the first episode. In that same scene, Steve gets lost, and he's wearing a fucking 1940s Iron Man suit. They find him later. I actually thought they were going to do a thing where they turned him into the Winter Soldier, which I thought would have been kind of interesting in terms of a what-if story. But no, they just take his Iron Man suit.
Not so much, because they reversed the roles. It was Captain America. Well, it was Steve Rogers in this case that actually ended up getting killed by the exploding train and falling down into the abyss. The actual storyline with Red Skull was rushed so quickly when I was really hoping they were going to do some sort of interaction between Peggy and Red Skull, but no, that didn't come to pass. And she did seem to get a lot of thrill out of beating up men.
I think she got a thrill out of beating up Nazis, like everyone should. ZeroM80 says, I see a lot of Chuds angry that Peggy's more badass than Steve. These are the things that Steve had before he got the serum: asthma, scarlet fever, rheumatic fever, what is that? Sinusitis, heart palpitations, nervous trouble, bone joint, other deformity, color blindness, scoliosis, high blood pressure, diabetes, anemia, partial deafness, astigmatism, easy fatigability. 90% of that serum went to fixing this stuff. Not to mention, he was just like a dude who had just been enlisted. She was Agent Carter, who already had extensive combat training. And also, frankly, I think she's a little more cold-blooded than Steve. I think she's more than fine with killing the shit out of people. Whereas Steve, I think he tried to pull his punches a little bit when he could. But, like, who cares? There are absolutely story reasons why she could both be stronger, and I didn't see any indication that she's necessarily stronger than Steve. I think they're comparable. More so, it just seems like she has more combat experience at this point than Steve did when he was in World War II, which is the truth.
But okay, you know, I'll sort of play pass on that. So it was kind of frustrating because they did everything that they could to defeminize Peggy Carter. Now, again, some people say, but she was using the same serum that Steve was using and therefore she would be beefed up and bulked up.
Sure, the serum affects different people differently is basically the answer you can give in terms of the super soldier serum. Like, for instance, you know, in the MCU, who else famously took a bootleg version of the super soldier serum? Dr. Bruce Banner. And I don't know how to tell you this. He doesn't look like Steve Rogers, okay?
Well, yeah, but not turned into a man.
She's not a man. She's a woman who's muscular.
You know, Steve...
And so did Red Skull. Yep. And he got a red skull.
He bulked up, like, proportionately to how a man would bulk up.
Again, hold on. Women bodybuilders are a thing.
Peggy bulked up to how a man would bulk up. And then, of course, when they put the outfit on her, she was just a man. A man. She was just a man. And
God, when I was presenting as a man, I wish I had tits as good as her.
And if you want to...
That was kind of a gross thing to say. I didn't mean that in a gross way. I was just trying to illustrate that, no, you dumb fuck, she had breasts.
Play that woman empowerment card, then don't put a woman's head on a man's body. It doesn't work.
They didn't.
Do you know the best way to play that is actually have a feminine woman? So you still could have had Peggy bigger. You still could have had her more muscular.
She is feminine. She still has curves. She's just stronger.
But you could have had her more in a vein of a Gina Carano. You could have...
God fucking damn it. Nope. 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 Ah! All right, let's finish this. There's only 2.5 minutes left, and then I can go back to living my life and pretend this never happened. Mike Mack says, Red Skull, Isaiah, Bucky, Flag Smasher, Hydra Agents, U.S. Agent, Red Guardians, they look different. Yes. Okay. Gina Carano, also in shape. But no one gives a shit about Gina Carano because she's a terrible fucking actress who ruined her own career.
Have had her more in a vein of a fighter.
Simple Cat Girl says, who is the woman he mentioned? Gina Carano was a supporting role in The Mandalorian. She was in Deadpool. She was an MMA fighter at one point. She's not a very good actress, in my opinion. But Chuds love her now because Disney decided to stop working with her because she posted some weird shit on Twitter, some transphobic stuff, and also compared conservatives to Jews during the Holocaust. And now Chuds love her, and now she works with Ben Shapiro over at the Daily Wire. They're making a movie. Bywise Marissa, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Lord Cuckbucket says, didn't he have a video almost 2 years ago upset that Lucasfilm was having a buff woman showing up The Mandalorian, and now he's praising her? Let's see. I'm sure he puts out a lot of videos, but that'd be funny if he did. How far back would that have to go? Like 2 years? When did The Mandalorian first come out? She's anti-vax. Shocking. Hydrate. God, look at how many videos he puts out. Wow, his thumbnails used to be terrible. Let me see. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order looks excellent. Okay, it's got to be in here somewhere. If it's anywhere in here. Yeah, I guess I can just search The Mandalorian. Hold on. Why isn't there a search function? Normally there's a search function, right? Yeah. Heels v baby face. The Mandalorian. Mandalorian episode 1 review. If he says in these videos something about it, I'm not going to go through them. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to go through his reviews to find it, because I don't know what episode she even first appears in.
Strength. While still having the super soldier strength that she would have gained, and just had a proportionately build as she would a woman. But it's the age-old adage at the moment that
this just feels like the Last of Us 2 Abby discussion all over again.
Femininity is perceived as weakness, and masculinity.
Yes, as we see from the very masculine Captain Marvel and Gamora, and literally any other MCU lady character,
is perceived as strength, and so their strong women become men. And I don't know how many times I have to say this, but it's a trick. It's a trap that they fall into every single solitary time. So if they just cut out this stupid modern day intersectional feminism politics, if they'd just actually made Peggy Carter look like the absolutely beautiful woman that she is, but just leaner, stronger, slightly more muscular.
The rumor is she's showing up in Captain Carter's going to be showing up in live action with Haley Atwell playing her. in Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. It's just a rumor at this point, though. But God, I hope it's true, and I hope they make her the buffest, widest-shouldered fucking Amazon in the history of women. That'd be awesome. Princess Amelia says, strength is seen as strength.
Without losing her femininity and turning her into a man, if they just allow the story to flow with those things out of the way.
Why won't Disney just let me jerk off to their cartoons?
I don't know if you just picked up the million bikes that just drove past. Then this might have been a lot more fun than it actually was. But it turned out to be a show that just when I was starting to enjoy it, I was rolling my eyes to the back of my head. And
it sounds like guys like this in the quartering, are they sure they like comic books or comic book movies? Because all they ever do is say how much they suck and they're like SJW propaganda. Maybe they just don't like them. Like, have they seen The Lighthouse or A Ghost Story? You could go and watch a movie for adults. Like, that's fine. I like both Marvel movies and real movies. But like, if you don't like superhero movies, don't watch them. It's fine.
And that was rinse and repeat for.
One Speedy Yoshi says they literally just want to highlight her and scale her up like in Photoshop. Nothing changed. Oh, aside from her boobs. They'd make them bigger and sway in the wind and shit. New Leviathan, thanks for 6 months, says 6 months of amazing content. Thank you.
For 30 minutes, and so.
Baja says this guy is so insecure in his sexuality that he won't let himself be attracted to anyone with any masculine traits at all. Like Captain Carter is still hella femme and attractive. I know, right?
It felt really disjointed, which is a shame. Because although I wasn't massively enamored with the animation, it could have been so much better. I do think there was an interesting story to actually be told with this little twist. But instead, as ever, they just can't help themselves when it comes to identity politics.
Identity politics is when a woman isn't someone I want to fuck. Phoenix Flight, thanks for 5 months, says Huzzah.
And I feel that's just going to be the case for the whole of this series. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media.
Like, genuinely, I'm curious, does the audience of someone like this and like Jeremy or any of these like Chud media channels, do they just hate watch this stuff? I don't understand. Like, why are you watching it if you don't like it? They know they don't have to watch it, right? I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Simple Cat Girl says, if the story is ruined because you can't jack off to them, that's a fucking you problem. Yep. Let's raid Surus. Alright, I hope everyone has a good night. I have electrolysis tomorrow, but now that I'm in town, I should still be able to stream later in the day, or before, I guess, but probably later in the day. So I should be good to stream tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but I'll see you guys then. I hope you have a wonderful evening. One sec. I actually copied too much. Like I said, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and tell Surus I said hi. Just waiting for the timer to run out. Mistimed it. That's on me. Alright, now I can click it. See you guys later. Have a good night.